bull?
And with the mask.
Bullshit.
If you stay in a lot of hotels, you come across some weird things, contraptions that defy human intelligence, like this bathroom door. What the hell is this all about? Instead of a regular knob, we have this circular latch.
Yeah, what is that all about?
How does this work? Method number 1, shut the doors and turn the latch. Nope. Method number 2, turn the latch first, then shut the doors.
God. Come on.
So I feel like he must have had this experience and then just said, you know, I'm gonna film this.
Fuck.
The bathroom is the worst possible place to have this problem. This door needs to shut. Nobody wants to see you in there doing your business. Ow. How did they fuck up something as simple as a door? Finally. Here's an example of a hotel room with a real bathroom door. Isn't that nice? Now, where's the light switch? Where is it? You gotta be kidding me. It's outside the bathroom. Who came up with that idea? Put the light switch in the bathroom. Sure, some of the space is taken up by the tub, sink, and toilet, but you have plenty of wall space. Don't design a bathroom without a light switch. What if you're in the shower and your roommate accidentally flicks the wrong switch? They wouldn't even realize.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally in the spirit of AVGN. I think it's just like, he's just like, I think that would be the best way for him to
It
do
would go
these.
pitch black in there, you'd be shouting over the sound of running water with soap and shampoo in your eyes. While we're on the topic of hotels, why are the stairs so elusive? Everybody's so used to elevators that the stairs are completely forgotten.
I hate this. See, I like stairs. I hate that I can't use elevators all the time. I'm a stairs person, and I don't know if they all always look this creepy, but
If you ask
yes.
the hotel staff, where's the stairs?
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about with those stairs? What do you mean, where's the stairs?
They usually look at you funny. Like
Right.
you just asked, where's the fucking shit bath? And
Not quite like that.
when you do find the stairs, it looks like nobody's used them in years. I always feel like I managed to unlock some secret dungeon. Why are the stairs so taboo? Nobody knows where they are. What would everybody do if there was a fire? Hotels are the most bizarre, unpredictable examples of modern architecture. Not to mention, they're bullshit.
Alright, you know what? I like that one. I like that one. I'm feeling that one. Let's see. Which one do I want to do? I guess, I think that's an A tier for me. I know there's another hotel one coming up. But for now, this one, I kind of want to put that in A. Let's put that... Oh, it's hard to remember everything from last week. I might have liked that more than temperature. I felt like that was a good complete episode. I'm going to put that in A. I'm going to put that right here. I like that. I thought that was complete. I didn't get a lot of that bullshit man voice and stuff. That was good. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. And I have much better video quality. Or at least I should. Because now I'm actually streaming directly off of video. Last week I created this like 18 gigabyte file. And that was why I was having so many problems with it. This time should be a lot smoother.
Now what's bullshit?
Word pronunciations.
Alright, I was looking forward to this one. I'm looking forward to this. This is, because I remember this one, but I think I only seen it once. And he actually is self-deprecating here and points out some of his own word pronunciation stuff that that he's been made fun of for before. So let's, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm hoping this is high. I think it is.
The internet has joined the world together, and now everybody with all their different dialects and preferences gets to criticize each other for how they speak.
This is This is James talking, and he's not even putting on the bullshit man voice. This is just
A
James.
word that I cannot avoid using is review. I've always said review till everybody tells me it's review. Why would it be review? What about recap? Would you say recap, redo, recall, rehire, regroup, reappear?
See, I'm kind of with them on this. He very much quickly won me over with
Reenact?
this.
Why is it so
You don't say redo, you say redo.
strange to say review? The prefix re means to do again. You're viewing something again for comment.
Accurate.
You review it. Bury. That's the next one. What am I doing wrong this time? It's bury, but everyone else says bury. It's spelled with a U. Why wouldn't it be bury?
Well,
there is
because
such
words,
a thing as
because the English language acts like that sometimes, James. That's why.
bury, but that's a different word and it's clearly spelled with an E, not to mention an extra R, which doesn't seem to affect anything. This is bury, that's bury. If we have two different words that mean two different things and spelled two different ways, why the fuck don't we pronounce them two different ways? Why would anyone care anyway if I say review or bury? Are you confused? As long as you understand what I'm saying, what's the point of bringing so much attention to it? It's not important. However, if I took a word like walk and pronounced it like dysanthoplonopius, then you might need to raise some questions.
Oh, yeah, I would. You say recall, right? Do you say recall?
It doesn't matter because there's no consistency with pronunciations anyway.
Pronounci-
Oh, sorry, I should have said pronunciation.
Right.
Well, then why do you pronounce a word? Why don't you pronounce it? I hate plural words. There's no rules. If the plural of pan is pans, then why the hell is there no such thing as mans? The plural of man is men. How about ox and oxen? Where'd they get that from? Why isn't it oxes? Like boxes. What's the plural of cock then? Coxen? How about moose? What would you say?
Yeah, it's funny. I was just about to say the same thing. This is like chronologically confused, but with words. But it's really well done. This one's I like this one. This is a
There's
favorite
more
of
than
mine.
one moose. Mooses, right?
Is it
no,
meese?
it's just moose. Yeah, it's the
Oh.
same fucking word. How about goose? Would you say there's a flock of goose? No, you say geese.
Geese. That's why I thought meese for a moment.
That's
Geese.
just great. Well then, fuck you. Next time I see a bunch of moose, I'm gonna say, hey, look at all those motherfucking meese.
Well, there
Don't
you
tell
go.
me it's not a real word. It is. It
This
is.
might
a word.
yeah, this might be S. I think this is an S tier. I think it's an S tier because first of all, it's just a great topic. I mean, it speaks to it's so much James because he always is kind of funny when it comes to words, so it's really authentic. It's something I'm glad he had fun
I
with.
just said it.
Yeah.
Should be on a goddamn shirt.
Look at all those.
What's up with
yeah.
mouse
The fact that I thought meese and he said meese, this
and
is
mice?
S. I
That
think
makes no sense.
not the same kind of energy as printers, but I really like the content.
Instead of house and houses, let's start saying house and heis. Booth, booths, tooth, tooths, sorry, teeth. Fuck plurals. Fuck silent letters too.
I wish he had a little bit more energy though.
How about the middle day of the week? It's spelled like Wednesday, but you pronounce it Wednesday. What's with the silent letters? Silent B, silent C, silent D, silent G, silent H, silent I, silent K, silent N, silent P, silent T, silent U, silent W. How about a silent... How about we'll pronounce our words however we want? Everybody's different.
I'm laughing because I feel like there's a part of James that must get annoyed someone's like, it's not review, and he's like, how about I pronounce it however the fuck I want?
Talk the way you talk. Anybody who objects, shut the hell up, suck our cocks in. I've spent my whole life trying to learn the English language, and I'll never get
No
it perfect.
shit.
Because it's bullshit.
Oh man. Oh man. I gotta be honest. This one is tough because I don't know if I'm putting this at number 1 or number 2. To be honest, where is pronunciations? Where is it? Why can't I find it? It's got to be somewhere in here. There it is. I don't know. Not the same energy as printers. But content that I like more. That's the difference for like the energy in printers was better. I like the content in pronunciation more. God, I'm gonna leave it there for now. I can move it. I have the right. I can move it whenever I want. But man, I like that one. I like that one a lot. All right, let's keep it going. It's a light group, but I'm gonna keep it going. What's going on, Andy?
Bullshit.
Public bathrooms. Everybody's got to use them, so you have no choice to deal with the bullshit. They're all different. Sometimes they're fine, other times they're not.
Public bathrooms are never fine. They're just, you just accept passability. They're pretty much designed to not be fine.
You ever try to sit down and take a shit, and all of a sudden the toilet flushes itself on its own and sprays your ass with water? It's like an industrial strength flush because some fuckheads clog the toilet, so they have to make them extra powerful. You never know what's gonna happen. You go.
Yeah, that happens a lot. That pisses me off. Like that with both the water, with paper towels. Those hand blower things that last half a second. Yeah, those
to
are
dry your
irritating.
hands.
It's like they're kind of designed to be a pain in the ass because they want you out of
And
there.
the automatic paper towel dispenser only spits out like 2 inches of paper towels at a time. As soon as you touch it, it becomes a sopping wet paper ball and your hands are still dripping wet. Just because some assholes waste all the paper, we're suffering the punishment of having these awful contraptions. Then there's the paperless version, the dreaded air blower. It's supposed to be eco-friendly. I get the idea, but the air either...
Again, it's that stock music that sounds like it's from plumbers.
It comes out so soft it takes hours to get your hands dry, or it's so fucking brutal it nearly blasts your flesh off.
That's never happened to me. I don't know about that. I've never had it that hot.
I also hate bathrooms that have one urinal with a toilet next to it.
Journal?
Like somebody would really want to be seen taking a shit next to somebody taking a piss. Put a fucking stall around it.
Wait, hold on. I've never seen that in my life. He's making that up, right? I've never seen this in my life. I've never seen that. I'm not buying it. I'd like to know where that is. Who's taking the shit next to a urinal like that?
The thing I hate most of all is the faucet.
Yep.
Come on. I feel like an idiot. Come on, oh, there it goes. Come on. There we go. Oh, and that's it? Oh man, I hate these ones that you have to push. It only stays on while you're pushing it. I can't wash both hands at the same time.
Oh, that sucks too. Yep.
This sucks.
All the complaints are good. I'm not sure the energy is all that fantastic, but the complaints are good.
What's the point of this? This is because some idiots couldn't turn the sinks off? Public bathrooms are like an obstacle course of technical failures. A place where shit happens, and this kind is bullshit. Not to mention, even while taking a piss, you can't get away from sports.
Good content. The energy was kind of meh. But I want to say that's like A-list content. I think I'm putting that above shoelaces, below temperature. The content is good. And the complaints are good. Not the same energy as with like some of the earlier ones though. But good. You could even push me to like an S tier. You know, we're within here. Within here. Let's keep it going.
Now what's bullshit?
Water, specifically the water that you drink. You need it to stay hydrated. When you're in public, you always end up having to buy bottled water, but there's so many different choices. It's just water. What's the deal? Have you ever read the back of the...
It's really kind of a pain in the dick that there's a context in which you're spending money for water.
The label? It should just say ingredients, water. But it isn't always just water, is it? Dasani water, which is made by the Coca-Cola company, contains additives. Magnesium sulfate, potassium chloride, salt, adds a negligible amount of sodium? Negligible or not, I don't want sodium added to my water.
No, wow, that's fucking Coca-Cola. They will do anything to get you to keep drinking their shit. And sodium will keep you thirsty.
The whole point is to hydrate yourself, not get more thirsty. And I'm not a chemist, but I don't know what all that other stuff is for. Oh, there you go. Minerals added for taste.
Yeah, because water just tastes like shit. You can't.
Ah, I gotta love the taste of that magnesium sulfate and potassium chloride. And what's with the Dasani Drops flavor enhancer? On the ad on the website, it looks like period blood.
It does.
At least you have plenty of different
kind of
options
does.
whenever you're in a store. Here, you can make sure what you're buying is just plain water without any bullshit added to it. But in most public places, I've been taking notice, the only option is Dasani water. Seriously, go to a movie theater, anywhere, find water that isn't Dasani. It's not often. Dasani is everywhere, especially conventions and concerts, crowded, sweaty places where dehydration can be a serious problem. Why can't we have access to real water? I mean, come on, no other water besides Dasani? Coca-Cola bought out all these places and runs a monopoly on this basic human necessity. If they could find a way to buy the air we breathe and add chemicals to it, I bet they would.
That's a good line. That's a good line. And kind of accurate. It's been a string of good episodes.
And that's bullshit!
Okay. Cool, okay. There was like at the end of last week, there was some really crappy ones, I thought. This has been a string of really good ones. Like real complaints, real content. Yeah, I think that's right there with the bathroom, the public bathroom. I think that's right in here. Yeah. Yeah. I'm giving it A.
Now what's bullshit?
Sleep. I hate it. I could get so much.
I love it. I love the simple titles. They're just like sleep. Just sleep. It's motherfucking sleep. It's bullshit.
Much more done if I didn't have to shut my eyes and go unconscious every now and then. Everybody has a different sleeping schedule. There's the early birds who represent the majority of our society who function naturally during the day, and there's the night owls who function naturally during the night. We need both these kind of people to make the world work. But
Fair
the part that triggers my bullshit alert is that the early birds often feel the need to look down upon night
It's like James' personal frustrations.
owls. Oh, you wake up at noon, as if they're superior just because they like to wake up at the ass crack of dawn. What is this stigma against night owls? Even Ben Franklin said, early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Well, there you go.
What an ass.
You can't complain with Benjamin Franklin, can you?
It's as if when the early birds see somebody asleep, they interpret it as laziness, without realizing night owls are working while they're asleep.
Not always. Not always the case. Sometimes, not always.
Once the phone stops ringing and things become quiet, night owls can focus on being productive and get a lot done, especially artists who have to be creative. You can't always summon spontaneous imagination.
True.
Sometimes it only comes natural in the late night hours. If you're not a morning person, chances are
This isn't really funny. Just feels like James's personal gripe. Which the last few ones I kind of did, which I kind of what makes them work.
you found out during school when you're forced to wake up early no matter who you are. School starts so fucking early. All
Yes.
those years of my alarm
Fuck
clock
school.
waking me out
Fuck
of a
school.
deep REM sleep, I never
Don't
got
even get
used
me-
to it. When
Yep.
you grow up, only then do you get to choose your own destiny. In college, everybody stays up late. I didn't know anybody in college who liked getting up early.
Well, yeah, they were busy trashing the dormitories.
Is it a generational thing? Maybe, and that's possibly the reason older generations like to make fun of night owls, because the elderly are never thought of as being energetic or lively, so when they see young people sleeping, that's their chance to get back at them. I've tried to get to the core meaning of why early birds make fun of night owls, and I think it has some...
Is this a real problem? Is this really huge stigma in society of early birds complaining at night owls? Is that really a big thing? Because I don't feel like it is. I don't know. Maybe.
something to do with the awareness that somebody else is sleeping. The shut eyes and lack of consciousness has some connection with the appearance of death, and that makes people feel awkward, so they balance it out by making fun of the situation. That's why people sometimes play pranks on their sleeping friends, drawing on their faces, the old shaving cream in the hand, stuff like that. So I guess it boils down to the fear of death, the eternal sleep. But for now, we'll die in short intervals. We can't escape sleep. It's the inevitable bullshit.
That was alright. That was alright. It wasn't like some of the other ones recently that I did rather enjoy. It's a fake issue. I try to be wary of fake problems. I'm guessing this one's sleep. I'm guessing this one is sleep. Where are we gonna put that? Where are we gonna put it? I think it's higher than C. I didn't remember really liking this like chronologically confused type of movie titles when it wasn't literally yeah, I don't like it as much as the iTunes ones, even though that disappointed. I think it's right firmly there. I think I feel very comfortable right there. All these episodes here I liked more. And I thought they were better. Yeah, he does that a lot. That existential, weird, off rails. I thought it was fine. I thought the other ones, like hangers, and there are real things to make fun of there. The microwave thing, there are real things there. I did think it was better than this. I think it's a solid B. I don't think it's a bad episode. It's a worthy, it's bullshit episode. Totally worthy. So, totally worthy. Alright, hold on. Dangerous funeral processions. I gotta say, I just never saw that one coming. This is very specific. It's worthy. This feels like it's going to be a tough one to win me over. I can't say ever in my life I ever had the thought of, oh no, dangerous funeral processions. Maybe others have had that. I don't really drive. I don't drive. I walk and take public transportation. Maybe it has something to do with like I don't even know if it has to do with driving. I don't know. I'm making shit up now. I don't know what this has to do with it.
What's bullshit?
Sometimes I talk about things that
Different masks.
aren't that important, but
Sometimes I talk about things that aren't that important. I spelled funeral wrong. I added a T. Okay. Diary of a Wimpy. I didn't read that. Okay.
this time it's about life and death.
Okay.
So I'm in my truck. I'm driving up to a red light. The light changes green.
Okay, so it is about driving and the funeral procession drive. Okay.
I keep going. But the next car comes through the intersection and nearly hits me. At first, I think it's just some asshole running a red light, but then I notice all the cars are going through the light, and then I realize it's a funeral procession.
I like this little diorama thing a lot more than the still pictures.
My frustration subsides, and I feel a wave of sympathy. Funerals are not bullshit. They're a healthy way of getting together with family and mourning the death of a loved one. The part that's bullshit
James.
is that they don't make it clear enough that it's a funeral procession. It's not like anybody's directing traffic, or it's not like an ambulance or a police car that has loud sirens and flashing lights. These are just ordinary cars. Sometimes they have
Yeah, is this something that people have
flags on top or just stickers on the windshield, which you'll never see until you're up close. Other times, they just have their blinkers on and that's it. When you see a car with their blinkers on from the side, it just looks like they have their turn signal on. You won't realize what's happening until the last second before impact. And the worst part is, everybody looks at you like you're the asshole, like you were trying to cut in on purpose.
How often does this happen to you? How many funeral processions have you been interrupted with?
I respect that it's a funeral, but it'd be nice to keep there from being another funeral. Is it so necessary to stay together that it's worth disrupting the normal flow of traffic and endangering everybody on the road? Can't they just say meet at the church, meet at the cemetery? Maybe in the old days people had a harder time finding their way, but now there's cell phones, there's internet, and there's GPS, which I admit GPS can be bullshit too.
GBS? Because it doesn't sound like he's saying GPS.
Let's respect the dead,
Whatever.
but let's also respect the safety of people who are still alive. Dangerous funeral processions are bullshit.
Yeah. James complains at one thing that happened. How's it going, Sam? Thanks for joining. Yeah, this one's gonna be hard to win me over with. How many funeral processions have, like, come on, I don't know. That's definitely not a B for me. It's better than cream cheese, I think. I think it's below warranty. I think it's below warranty. I can't watch that and go, yeah, I could relate. Like, I can't I mean, it almost should be lower. Because I could relate to the idea of the cream cheese. Like, even though I don't think it's a real, yeah, you know what? Yeah. God, I kind of want to put it at D. I just thought it was kind of boring. But I'll keep it at, yeah, it's, yeah, here? Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. Well, you know what? I'll give it a couple. I like that little diorama. I'll give it points for that. You know what? It's going up for that. I thought that was better than the still frame images. I'm giving it points for that. Without that, that's a D. But with it, I'm going to give it some points.
You know what's bullshit?
I could. I think I want to keep it going.
Look. Just look.
All right, yes. That's good. So the packaging is like that big compared to that tiny thing. So this, to me, is like the essence of, you know, it's bullshit. These little mundane things right here. Yeah, I thought what he did. I like the movements, the anime. I like that. I thought that was good. I thought it was a lot better than some of the other stuff he did. But I also get packaging.
I don't need to say anything. Why does something this small need to have packaging this large? It's such a waste of cardboard, and it leads to more waste because oversized packaging requires oversized boxes to mail it in. I ordered this from Amazon, and when the box came, I didn't even know what it was. I thought I got drunk and ordered a big coffee table book or something. Then I opened it and saw this. You want to get technical? The jump drive is 2.5 inches long. The packaging is 13 inches by 9 inches.
I feel like I haven't seen that as much, but yeah.
And if you were to use all that extra space, I estimate you could fit 45 jump drives. Now this right here is how it should be. This is proof that it can be done.
It's
this is
possible.
The same company, Lexar, and I ordered both of them from Amazon. If they're from the same manufacturer...
That's exactly right. This is relatable. This is it. This is it right here. It's small and mundane enough that you're not thinking about it all the time, but we've all experienced something like it. This is the essence right here of good observational humor. Yeah.
Sold by the same place. Why did they come in two...
It's not nearly as esoteric as funeral procession. This is great.
Completely different kinds of packaging. They're the same product, too. The only difference is the capacity. One holds 128 gigabytes, the other holds 256. You might say the large packaging is for extra security or some shit, like if somebody robs an Amazon warehouse. Then wouldn't you think the more expensive jump drive would be the one in the large packaging? There's no way to make sense of it. Holding the big one is a surreal experience. It makes me feel like my hands are small, like I'm shrinking in size. Maybe this wasn't meant to be sold. Maybe it's a prop.
What?
For the next Honey, I Shrunk movie. Also, this is a pretty serious piece of
That's a stretch, and I haven't heard an Honey, I Shrunk reference in a long, long time.
Cardboard. You could break a window with this thing. To get the jump drive
Now, I'm wondering if this is going on a little long for what it
out
is.
with your bare hands, it would take a lot of force. Why do they make you have to use scissors? Holy shit.
Yes.
It even withstands scissors. You will not defeat me, you piece of shit!
And so far, I haven't seen a Bullshit Man mask, which makes this episode even better.
Your mother, your mother, your mother! Ah!
It's going on longer than needed.
Finally! Oh, fuck! Oh, jeez. It's been a while since I've talked about all this kind of nonsense. It's really hard because there's lack of time, but there's...
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do we get a lack of time? Wait, in this You Know What Bullshit episode, is he apologizing for not having time? Is he 540ing us right now? I don't remember this. Hold on, I gotta go back. In his episode, he's breaking the fourth wall to tell us, listen, I don't have the time. Hold on, I gotta do that again. Hold on.
Oh, jeez. It's been a while since I've talked about all this kind of nonsense. It's really hard because there's lack of time, but there's no lack of
You know what's bullshit? Time. Has he done a... I don't think there's a You Know What's Bullshit time. I don't think he's done that. I don't know how it's possible he hasn't done that. Yeah, I gotta turn 540 into a verb. And he totally 540'd us in the episode. You know, it's bullshit time. I feel like he has said something like that in an episode. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Where's that was the packaging. All right, here's my thing with the packaging. I feel like it's a little bit, it's not the most original. I feel like there's a lot of people who've probably made fun of that sort of thing before. So from that standpoint, that's why I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be over temperature. I feel like temperature is a little bit. I mean, that's a little cliche too. I liked it. I thought the public bathrooms one was good. I thought the water was good. It's somewhere in here. If you wherever, it's somewhere in here for me. I'm cool with that. Yeah. I didn't quite get the reference. Time, huh? What? That was in something. It was in one of his videos, wasn't it? I feel like he's. All right, let's keep it going. I wouldn't be surprised if he's biased towards Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, considering that movie came out. Would you? Yeah, sure. All right. Well, clothing tags do have a tendency of pissing me off. I'll tell you that. Okay.
You know what's bullshit? Those T-shaped things include...
So this is... He's done a lot of different intros. I feel like... Is this like he just kind of then ran with this one since the previous
clothing.
two.
I don't know if there's a name for them, and I don't give a shit, but all I know is they suck. You know what I mean, right? They're basically plastic strings that run through the fabric to attach the price tag. So after you buy them, you have to take them off.
Yep.
Could they come up with a better solution? How about just a sticker or something that clips on? I hate removing these things. I avoid buying new clothes just so I don't have to...
Come on. I know it's a joke. I avoid buying new clothes. We're running with that. Come on, James.
to deal with this.
I would love to see that. Like, no, I'm not buying clothes. I got to deal with that tiny piece of plastic on the tag.
Fuck! Once the tag is off, all hope is
Just use fucking scissors. What are you talking about? Why? Is this like, I get it. I've been through this where I just like tear it off or whatever. I might even like bite it with my teeth, and yeah, they're a little bit of a nuisance. But like, this really can be solved with a pair of scissors, like very quickly.
lost. I don't feel like having to find scissors every time I buy new clothes.
I don't feel like having to find scissors. Gosh, James, you got it rough, man. You go out to go buy clothes that you don't want to buy because of that plastic thing, and then the funeral procession comes rolling in that you can't deal with, and then you gotta go home and you gotta look for some scissors, both for your oversized package and your clothing tags. Yeah, it's not even that he's quoting. I think he's stretching this into something that's obviously not real, but because it's okay. You're exaggerating, so you could be funny with exaggerating. But the less into reality you are, the less funny and relatable it's going to be. But he kind of has to, I guess, kind of a suspension of disbelief here a little bit. Okay, yeah, it's annoying to go searching for scissors, but like, I mean, the guy fucking taped his tripod to a ceiling, and I mean, the guy went through the trouble of fixing a drawer that seems to get broken every 6 months instead of just like purchasing it on Amazon.com. So I think you could find a pair of scissors for your clothes.
I know there's probably an easier way to remove them, but why should we ever have to discuss how to remove tags from clothing? I don't care. It shouldn't even have to occupy the smallest portion of our brains. Removing them isn't even the part that's bullshit. The real bullshit is that you'll find these things laying all over the house. I don't understand why, because after I take them off, I throw them in the trash.
I don't understand why either. I don't think I've ever had that happen in my life. I don't know. Maybe others have. I could see how it could, but that has never.
But somehow they keep appearing everywhere. It's truly a phenomenon. If you have cats or infants, the stakes are raised because you don't want anybody swallowing them, so it becomes almost a matter of life or death to find these fuckers. They blend into
It's a matter of life or death. Yeah, okay.
the carpet. They turn invisible the moment you cut them off. When you use scissors, it makes 2 pieces, so you have to keep track of both of them.
Heaven forbid. You make 2 pieces. That's double the plastic tags. What am I gonna do? It's 2 pieces. What the fuck? My voice is cracking, so I can't even do the impersonation. Cut them like
I always hold the end with the tag, but I don't have 3 hands, so the other end is going to fall somewhere. But I always find it and throw it in the trash.
All right, look, the point of it's bullshit is to kind of over exaggerate the actual inconvenience of the thing. So I do get that, but there's something. This one's something a little off about this
one.
Then
how do they keep showing up? Where are they coming from? Are there little sneaky elves that come in and hide them around the house? It's a mystery, but the only thing that's perfectly clear is that they're bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't. I've never thought about these things after I purchased my clothing, like, at all. Is this here? I think it's better than funeral procession. I think it's like here. I immediately put it. B is a little high for me, but it's a low B, high C, I think. And even if I'm because like there's a clear cutoff. Like when we get to like cream cheese, I'm just not feeling it. The warranty thing wasn't that great. The funeral procession, like I feel like I do feel like at least this is in the realm of what I expect from It's Bullshit, like even if it just wasn't executed as well. It's an okay concept. The execution was, a little, I don't know. He did what he could. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst. I give it a B minus. And I wasn't even really showing where I put it, did I, properly? Like I nestled it right here. Right in here. Right there. Hopefully people can see that. Yeah. Alright.
You know what's bullshit? Wobbly tables. You know what I mean. You're at a
Now this is a real problem. But I was thinking about this. I don't think the problem's the table. I'll talk about that in a moment. I don't think the table is the
wherever.
problem.
You lean on the table and whoa, it jiggles. Try cutting some steak and everything trembles like there's a fucking earthquake. Yeah, you sit across from somebody, you each place your elbows on the table, and it teeters back and forth like a seesaw. Is this supposed to be fun? Who likes this? I don't. I don't want to spill wine or coffee, stain my clothes, or burn myself. What causes this wobbly table phenomenon? Why is it so common? One example is the cross-shaped base. This is when the table is supported by only one leg but with 4 foot extensions. For some reason they aren't properly balanced or the floor is uneven or whatever.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the issue, right? You have uneven floors and you have to set it up.
So one foot is always raised, and the constant shifting of human weight causes the table to rock in 4 possible directions. It's similar to a D-pad on an NES controller, but this is no game. Maybe if you hooked up to an NES, you can have the Mario Table D-pad challenge. There you go. Use that idea for your retro restaurant. You're welcome. Tables with 4 legs have the same problem, again likely due to the uneven floor, but sometimes one leg is ever so slightly shorter or missing a small piece on the bottom.
Yeah, that can happen.
How does this happen? Are there a group of magic...
So again with the elves. Okay.
Gnomes sneaking about with saws and chisels? Let's ruin everybody's tables. Hee hee hee. The problem persists with almost every type of table I've seen. The cross-legged base, trestle base, pedestal base, tennis ball foot, claw foot, big bird foot, cat in the hat, bazooka, palm tree foot, you know. How hard is it to make a table that isn't defeated by the natural predicament of an uneven earth? It's not a new invention. Tables have been around for a long time. The ancient Chinese ones were awesome. I bet those didn't wobble. How about the ancient Egyptian ones? I mean, look at that. Okay, that doesn't look too stable. But it's old! We need to find a better solution for tables. Drive a fucking metal stake through it. I don't...
Yeah, I feel like the problem with this episode is like, okay, there is what can you really do with this? Like stretching the content, like it's just okay, wobbly tables. I get it. Now what? And she's stretching it out.
Care. Just get it to stop wobbling.
I get it.
I'm the bullshit man, and I missed you, but I wouldn't miss this bullshit.
Okay. Okay. Similar to the tags. But here, it's alright. At least it wasn't too long. It was quick. It was painless. It was fine. And that's been like that's fun. That's been the intro, huh, for a while now.
You know what's bullshit?
Snow. Okay.
Snow. Yeah, everybody.
All right. I don't remember the episode. I don't remember, but I have hope for this because I like it when they're simple and punchy. Can he find something simple, everyday, normal?
Knows it. What more could be said? But the topic is bullshit, and this is one of the bullshittiest of all. The only month I find snow welcome is in December, only if it comes down in moderation. You want that unreasonable balance where it's just enough to give you that holiday spirit, but not enough to affect your family travels. It's like asking for a slight hint of apocalypse, and the chance of it actually snowing all
a slight hint of apocalypse
on Christmas or whenever exactly it is you want it to happen is less than 10%. Unless you live inside of a movie, then it's 100. You want to see just enough snow to bring back all those childhood memories of school being canceled, having snowball fights, sledding, making snowmen. But now it's all about shoveling driveways, rescheduling appointments, and in the worst scenarios, trying not to get killed.
During a funeral procession.
When January comes, you're thinking, okay, snow, we get it. You made your point. Fuck you too. Then February, it's so bad it's not even worth complaining about. You're thinking, this is the worst of it. Just hang in there. It'll be over soon. And then March comes.
And it's, March often has like that one more last hurrah in it. At least I'm in the Northeast. James is in the Northeast. I spent most of my life in New York, and so James is obviously not far, and like New Jersey, PA. So
And it's like, oh, come on,
similar
enough
experiences.
already. St. Patrick's Day is supposed to be a green
Wait, what was that? Did he like saw the top of his door?
holiday, but it's always blanketed in
Oh, that was just snow at the bottom. Yeah.
white snow. When I was a kid,
Yeah.
I remember playing outside looking for four-leaf clovers. But recently,
5 of them.
I don't think I've ever even seen a living clover on
I saw 5 of them.
St. Patrick's Day. You'd have a better chance seeing a leprechaun. So maybe by Easter, it might be over. And then half the summer is spent trying to catch up on all the things you were trying to do that got postponed. And the
No, that's a little. I don't
summer
know.
heat is the only thing that rivals the snow. But as much as I hate wiping sweat from my forehead every 10 seconds to keep it from dripping into my eyes and swatting flies that keep landing in my ears, still, no matter how bad the summer gets, you can at least get in your car and drive to a grocery store.
I prefer a snowy day to a really, really, really hot day, I think. Just personal. Which, by the way, the fact that I'm talking about that, I don't know that this episode is all that great, but
But in snow like this, you can't leave the house. Shut down your life, make no plans, just hibernate till it's all over.
Yeah.
And next year, get ready to deal with it again and again and again. You might ask, if you hate snow so much, why do you choose to live in an area that gets snow? To that, I answer, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is, it's bullshit!
I don't know. That could have been. But my problem with this episode, and so it's not going to be terribly hot. My issue with it is, I didn't think he did anything that unique or interesting with it. It's just generic complaints about snow, I felt. I think there's a clear dividing line for me where funeral processions is a clear dividing line. So it's right there with wobbly table for me. It's like, yeah, they're both things you could do something with it, but did he do much with it? I don't think he did much with it. So I'm just like, not, other than just giving me very generic complaints. And, that anybody can make. Nothing super unique or insightful. So a high B or a low B, B minus, C plus. It's fine. You know what? It felt like modern AVGN to me. That video was the equivalent of like modern AVGN, where it's like with the right energy, with maybe a different time in his life, that would have been better. Every time I see this, I think it says the word bimothy. But it's bi-monthly. So, alright, so now we have another intro. And then, like, episodes later, I think he goes back to the previous one. So, do you know it's bullshit episode about this here? Okay.
Bullshit! There hasn't been any it's bullshit episodes in a long time, but that's only because of an already packed video.
So we saw a few episodes ago, he ends it with, hey, he 540s us, and he doesn't have time. And now he's starting this episode with apologizing for not having enough time to make it's bullshit. Like take that somewhere else. Take that out of the episode. Why is it in your episode? It'd be like if I like watched Back to the Future 3 and then it was like, hey, Michael J. Fox just looks at me and says, sorry it took us this long to get to Back to the Future 3. But I've been really working hard on Family Ties right now. Now back to the movie.
Video schedule of all these different Cinemassacre shows. So I had a meeting, sat down and talked with the Screenwave people. We
Okay. Yeah,
worked out a
okay.
new plan, a new schedule
I skimmed through a little of this.
to get You Know It's Bullshit episodes released bi-monthly. That's right, bi-monthly. But as the meeting went on, there was some confusion. Half the room thought bi-monthly meant every 2 months.
This was around the time Screenwave came in and yeah, well, okay, right. Oh, so is this the first time we see, it's BS instead of bullshit? Is that like I didn't even, if that's the case, I didn't even notice it. I didn't even know, so maybe that's why there was the intro change as well. And now we're getting some weird apology plus this bi-monthly thing. I mean, let's just go from like one of the second episode was pennies, and now we're coming up with this esoteric concept thing of like bi-monthly. It's kind of
The other half thought it meant twice a month. So we looked it up. According to Merriam-Webster.com, bi-monthly has 2 definitions: occurring every 2 months or occurring twice a month. What the fuck? To confirm, we looked at OxfordDictionaries.com, which says occurring or produced twice a month or every 2 months. In other words, it means whatever you want it to mean. Bi-monthly is a completely useless word. To say it, you'd have to assume the person you're talking to knows which of the 2 conflicting meanings you intend, and the same problem happens with the word bi-weekly. How did such a blunder fall into common English language, which already has tons of problems? See my episode on word pronunciations.
good episode. This one, not so much.
So obviously, the word bi means
Yeah,
2.
honestly, this sucks. So far, this episode sucks. Like right off the bat, I think this sucks.
A bicycle has 2 wheels. Not 1 wheel for every 2 bikes. It means 2. Simple as that. Similar to bi-monthly is biannually, but biannual simply means twice a year. So when we're talking in the measurement of weeks and months, we have conflicting ideas.
Maybe I'm being
But
unfair
when we
to
get
it.
to a
I don't
year,
know.
we suddenly agree. There even exists a different word that means every 2 years, a completely separate word to offer distinction from biannual. The word is biennial. You gotta be kidding me. What's worse, a word that means 2 separate
I don't think this music in the background works for this episode.
things
Maybe
or 2
I'm
separate words that
overthinking it.
sound alike? How could it be any more confusing? Then there's the word bicentennial, which is used when talking about a 200-year anniversary. In other words, 2 centuries. It never means twice in 1 century. Does this prefix have any consistency? Well, I gotta take a shit, which I do bi-daily, meaning twice a day or every other day, unlike bi-circadian, which only means twice a day, or bi-deli, which is twice.
Yeah. When he breaks the fourth wall on these, it doesn't. I don't think it
Twice every
really
other day,
works.
or by duty, which means 2 shits in 1 sitting, or by fuck it day, which means I don't know what the fuck I mean, or by fuck shit, which means the bullshit is coming back. Twice every something. So at least you're getting more, and that part ain't bullshit.
You know what's
Yeah. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was stupid. I didn't think. Yeah. I. I don't know. I don't have a great reason for why. I mean, pronunciations I just thought was well done. I just didn't think it was an interesting topic or angle on it or. Yeah, okay, I don't care. Maybe I chuckle. Yeah. I could even bring this to a D. I'll give it a low C. I'll give it a low C. I don't get it. This just didn't work. I don't have anything that insightful to add. I just didn't care. Well, the self-aware part was weird, and just the complaint itself was, again, it was a bit esoteric, and it wasn't that funny and that interesting or anything I think about. And like, but was it better than like penguins and birds and the Christmas one? I can't, maybe right below Christmas for me, so I'll put it there. It's down here. All right, and then it's BES. That alone kind of makes it suck. Just that alone makes it suck. I don't even use language very much, but if you're gonna go from it's bullshit to it's BS, it's like
BS! Having a wallet packed to the brim like George Costanza, but like any other problem.
oh shit, oh shit. So the title here is lack of Apple buttons, but the reason we're getting this is we're getting our first ad read in the What's Bullshit episode, which is total bullshit because these things are like, they like average out at like 3 fucking minutes and we're getting a fucking ad read. Yeah, well, you do it because like at some point with YouTube, if you use language early in the episode, you'll demonetize or monetize less. So the way he started it, it kind of sucked because he started each episode that way. So
From the 90s, it was solved with sleek slabs of futuristic alloys bound by synthetic fibers. It's Ridge Wallets! Ridge Wallet!
this should not get a sponsor. This type of content. This type of content should just keep you coming to the channel. So it's already neutered with the whole what's BS, and then he adds a sponsor at the beginning. Yeah, this is bad.
Pack up to 12 cards into a variety of wallet styles and colors.
And it's still going.
Like this black
I mean, I paused it a couple of times, but really.
carbon fiber. I really love it, and apparently, so do 30,000 others. It even has a lifetime warranty and a 45-day test drive. They have other products too, like this shockproof card case for those who routinely drop their $1,000 piece of glass. Head on over to ridge.com/Cinemassacre and use code Cinemassacre for 10% off your order.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh. Man, right off the bat, we are at a bad start right off the bat, and I think we're gonna get a few of these, huh? You're automatically not an S tier, and you're probably automatically not an A tier just for that.
You know what's BS? I can't say that word in the beginning of the videos anymore. But you know what's also
So you did the
BS? Apple's vendetta against
God, this is so off rails right at the beginning.
buttons. You know what I mean. Apple's trying to phase out a basic and perfectly functional part of modern technology, the button. You push it, it makes things happen. But apparently, that's not good enough. Remember long ago when the mouse used to have 2 buttons, even a trackball for vertical and horizontal scrolling? But then Apple made them all vanish. I hope they're proud of themselves. Even the iPhone has only 1 button, which is perfectly fine since anything you want to press is on the screen. But try the Safari browser, for example.
Yeah, and that's where I'm with you. Like, look, he hired a production company, I guess, and they're all gonna be. It's funny to think of Screenwave in this way, but it's like once you have quote unquote investors, then then the customer becomes them because you're just trying to, everything is generating revenue for your investors, and I wouldn't call them investors, but they put in work and now they want to get a return on their investment, whether that's time or whatever their arrangement was. And so now you compromise the product, but even then I think they compromise the brand because look, the AVGN episodes are bad enough with ads, but at least I get it because it's like that's the big piece of content people are going to see. And, your episodes are going to be usually at least like 15 minutes or so now, give or take. And so you get a lot of content. So if you start out with an ad, okay, or it sucks, but we get used to it and we get 15 minutes of content. These are like supposed to be like short little bursts of entertainment. And it should really should just have been a thing that you just keep the channel going with. You keep the channel healthy. You keep people liking the channel. You keep, people keep feeling like it's a full, complete thing. And the ad thing for what's bullshit is that's really like, come on.
Up a web page, all the buttons are on the bottom, such as back, forward, etc. Perfect, right? But as soon as you start scrolling through a web page, the buttons disappear. Thanks. And it's not just Apple. Mostly anything you do on a modern device is done by complex touch commands. Touch the left, touch the right, drag 2 fingers, swipe 3 fingers. How about my middle finger? What's the deal with hiding buttons? Do they think it looks
I don't get the stock music choices in these episodes.
cleaner, like buttons are tacky? Do they think it makes it cutting edge and futuristic, like somebody at Apple saw it in a
Yeah, no, that's true. Look, I get the whole the name thing. The ad thing, though.
sci-fi movie and actually thought it would be a good idea in real life? What's next? Are they going to take away all the buttons on a keyboard, so all you have is a blank chrome slab of nothing? Oh, no, don't give them any ideas. I will never understand why minimalism is so appealing on a mechanical device, especially at the expense of function. Does anyone think this is cool? Like, oh yeah, look how tiny, smooth, and attractive my device is. It does more with less. It helps harness my mellow. It sparks joy, man. Isn't that impressive and cool? Well, forgive my cranky aging ass, but I'm a stuff-loving, button-mashing man. I like my damn buttons! You want to camp out in line for the latest and greatest super device version 3,000,000.8 or whatever, just because it's half a millimeter thinner and has
Does this music sound like Lester the Unlikely? Is that what I'm listening to?
no buttons? Are doorknobs going to be next? Imagine a door with no knob. You have to swipe your finger on the spot where you think the
I could see
doorknob
that
would
coming.
be. Well, I say to Apple and all these high-tech companies, I hope you're proud of yourselves. You made the buttons disappear. Great magic trick. Now can you make them reappear? Because that's bullshit.
I'm sorry. I think that's. I'm just quickly dumping it in D. And if it also because of all that ad stuff. I don't remember, and maybe it was made more sense back then too. I get it. This is another one of those things where I get the complaint. I just didn't think it was like done in a way that was all that interesting or unique. And then on top of it, you get the ad read at the beginning and the weird introduction. So I'm just dropping that in D. C. I'm dropping it in C, apparently. I'm dropping it in D. Dropping it in D. And those ad reads are gonna be hard for not to hurt a bunch of these, because I'm sure a bunch are coming. I gotta be. I don't want to like just only docket a ton of points for that, but I'm done. It reminds me of like the wobbly table and the snow, where they're good concepts, but if it's just cliches, then I don't want to grade it too highly if what I'm getting are just cliches and nothing too inspiring. Okay, rolls of tape. It pisses. All right, rolls of tape. I'll tell you what pisses me off about rolls of tape, and this might be. There are two things that really happen all the time. They always make it's always really difficult to like unfurl it, and then like they end up splitting apart. And if it's like duct tape or something, or like masking tape, and you have to like try to recover it, and that becomes a pain in the ass. And you're always trying to find the ridge where you could like peel it off. Yeah, there's a lot with tape that rolls of tape that can piss me off. Let's see if he's got some of the same complaints and how he approaches it.
You know what's BS? Tape. Specifically.
Well, there's no ad read. We go right back to this, sounds like this Lester the Unlikely music. So no ad read. Good for him.
Roll of tape. The point of tape is that it's sticky. That physical property ironically causes such anguish. Despite engineered attempts to thwart this reality, tape will inevitably stick to itself.
Yep.
It will find its way loose from the plastic holder and become stuck in a perpetual loop. foiled by its primary function, to stick and be sticky without sticking. So
I don't know if I'm overreacting, but this choice of music, it's repetitive and it's stupid. It doesn't fit. It's like something I'd expect from like a Charlie Chaplin silent film. It doesn't work. I don't get it. It's weird. Tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm off, but it really sucks in my opinion.
sticky. The problem happens most often with packing tape, the transparent or brown kind that you can use a dispenser with. The dispenser represents humanity's vain efforts to keep the tape from sticking to itself. But whenever you manage to cut off a piece of tape without the loose ends slipping off the dispenser and becoming forever stuck to the roll, consider yourself lucky. Once it's stuck there, the first problem is finding it. You hold it in the light and turn the roll around and around until finally you see that little crease. You pick at it with your fingernails, but only manage to tear off a thin strip. You keep pulling, hoping this strip will go around the roll and be reunited with the main part of the tape. But instead, it only creates its own perpetual loop, creating a secondary, smaller roll of tape before...
I would like this so much better without that stupid music. It just doesn't fit. It's so...
or ripping off and losing itself completely, and now you have to start all over again, but with the added mess of multiple tape rolls. Which is the real one? Where do you start? You're just fucked. You're wrapping a gift. It starts out innocently enough. You're busy folding that wrapping paper, trying to do a neat job at it, but now you need that tape. So you're leaning your elbow on the seam of those precious paper folds while picking at an endless circle of tape, praying for a miracle. You know there has to be an end. The tape is not infinite. But next thing, you're having a spiritual crisis. You start damning the person the gift is for. Surely it is their fault you cannot find the end of the tape roll. If you had a time machine, you could go back and warn your younger self not to engage with this person just so you don't have to buy them a birthday gift requiring gift wrap and deal with that torture invention tape. With cramped elbows and fingers bleeding, salted by tears of frustration and despair, you consider defeat. But just then, the bumpy ridges of a seam, angels descend and harps begin to play. Eureka! You grab the end between your forefinger and thumb, and with the grace of the Almighty begin to peel it back. Salvation is in sight, but it veers to the edge and rips, turning into that useless, unholy sliver. With that sliver now stuck to your finger, you cry out, "Why? Why have you forsaken me?" You continue to pick at the end of the tape, a roller coaster of hope and disappointment, growing old and senile with repetition until you're dead. Dead from tape. And furthermore, dead from bullshit.
Weird choices. I think at least a B. I think at least a B. I mean, I don't want to pick on things like music, but it just doesn't fit. Like, if you're gonna have music, it's a weird choice. Because the whole point is that you're irritated, and this is more like da 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 da. It doesn't. I feel like Kieran just like slapped something in there. I liked it better than Tags. I liked it better than Fast, the titles. I liked it better than Sleep. Yeah, it's somewhere in here for me, maybe. I don't like it as much as Microwaves. Again, I think, that music was weird to me. But the content is really spot on. It's the stuff that irritates me about tape. Like, I could put this, like, it should be an A, and I don't like the way it's produced. It should be an A, but it's not as raw as Pennies. But it should be right up here, even. It should be an S. But I don't know, it was weird for me. I don't know if I'm in the minority about that, or I just like picked on one thing that I just couldn't let go of. I hate to bring it that low, because it's something that maybe is just stupid and I'm overreacting to.
It came from the internet.
Oh boy, here we go. Is it gonna be an ad again? Bridge. Oh man. So one reason that this isn't lower is it didn't have an ad, but now we're back to another ad. Okay.
Sleek slabs of magic alloys ritualistically bound together with synthetic fibers by the necromancers at Ridge Wallets.
All right. So the topic here is Pogs. All right. I know Pogs. I was around for Pogs. It was like a 6-month fad, Pogs. He felt like talking about Pogs. Cool. I don't remember the content, but like doing a you know what's bullshit about a thing that existed for 6 months in the hands of like 10 to 13-year-olds. That's gonna be, and they're not even like that's a bit much for a you know it's BS. But
Up to 12 cards in a variety of styles and colors, like the sinister burnt titanium. It's to die for. Just ask these other 30,000 lost souls. It even has a lifetime warranty and a 45-day test drive. They have other products too, like the Summit knife with titanium handle. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Crawl on over to ridge.com/Cinemassacre and use code Cinemassacre for 10% off your order.
What's BS?
You know what's BS? The game Pogs, the most overly popular thing in existence.
And they're using the same one every time? Well, I guess they don't expect me to watch these all back to back to back, but okay.
Wait a minute. It's not that popular anymore? Nobody even talks about it now? Forgotten? Completely? Huh. Well, this...
But they were forgotten 2 months after the fad was over. This wasn't even a thing that anyone even thought about the next year or the next winter. Like, no. Okay, whatever. I'm getting way too into this.
This type of bullshit seems to have been isolated in the 90s. I guess this...
No, not in the 90s. Like for 1 month in the 90s.
This episode should be retitled.
Yeah, a video about Pogs would have been interesting.
You know what was bullshit?
It was bullshit for 2 months.
So if you're younger than me and you're wondering what the hell are Pogs, let me explain. Pogs had its origin in Hawaii in the 20s with milk bottle caps that were turned into a game. Then the 90s, for some unknown reason, it got a huge revival as Pogs, named after the Pog juice brand. Rather than bottle caps, they were being mass-produced as little cardboard discs, sort of like miniature drink coasters. They came in all different themes, and there existed every type of Pog imaginable. Ninja Turtle Pogs.
Okay, I like the content again, like even though I don't know if it's a good, you know, it's bullshit. I hate this fucking stock music. I hate it. It sucks. It's as distracting to me as this bullshit, man.
Power Ranger Pogs. There even existed O.J. Simpson trial Pogs.
That's good. That's good. That is good. And that was a specific year.
Pogs. I'm not fucking kidding. They became a collector's thing, similar to trading cards, so kids would meet up and play a game with them in which you'd have the opportunity to win more Pogs for your collection or lose them to your friends or enemies. So basically, you'd bet your Pogs, similar to chips and poker or other gambling games. You'd each put your Pogs in a stack, then using a thicker, heavier Pog called the slammer, you'd take turns slamming it down on the stack, making them scatter. Then you'd get to take home every Pog that landed face up or face down, I forget which. And it got serious. You were playing for keeps. When those Pogs flipped, there was like a moral fucking code. Even though you weren't betting actual money, it was still considered controversial on the school playgrounds. Kids liked to think they were badass by playing Pogs. They'd collect ones that had skulls and shit on them. But it got really out of hand. Every day after school, everybody I knew was playing Pogs. Looking back, it's hard to imagine how something could have been so popular when they're virtually non-existent today. But I tell you, they were like Magic the Gathering. They were a big fucking deal. To understand the gravity of what I'm saying here, this was like the 90s equivalent of Pokemon Go. Hard to believe, but it really was that big. Back then, I was sick of hearing.
I just don't remember lasting long enough to compare it to those things.
about them, and now I'm just as perplexed how easily certain bullshit like this could just vanish overnight. These things were just as common as free AOL discs. You couldn't look anywhere without seeing them laying around. They spread across the earth. Now they've been gone for like 20 years. Good riddance, but geez, that's the pure definition of the word fad. Where did they all go? I mean, physically, where did they put them all? The mathematics don't make sense. There were so many, but now the only way to find them is if you're actually looking on purpose. And who knows, maybe they'll come back. Oh no. Did I just contribute in any way to help encourage Pogs to make a comeback? I hope not. That would be bullshit.
No, this is, I'll tell you what we just watched. We just watched content that James wanted to make, and Screenwave said, turn it into a bullshit episode. And he did that with Earthbound as well. I didn't even know this for a while, but I learned recently that wasn't even supposed to be a nerd episode. He was going to do content, and then it was like, oh, let's make it a nerd episode, which I suspect he did that with the Contra one. And this is just, they still make them? Oh, interesting. I could see them being popular. They're kind of they're simple fun. I could see it. I could even see him could I see it making a comeback now in the digital age? No, I'd have trouble seeing it make a comeback. But this would have been just better if he just talked about it. But I think instead they had to kind of brand it, and that feels right to me. That's immediately where I thought this should go. Oh, that's cool. Plastic. Yeah. No, we got the cheap cardboard. Because they were really just the byproduct of, like, leftover, like, whatever, I think. Packaging or whatever. I don't know. It's like, okay, go... Yeah, I don't know. I don't really... It was fine.
It came from the internet.
Yeah.
Sleek slabs of magic alloys, rich.
Well, stickers aren't on fruit. They can be a pain in the ass when you have like an apple and there's a fucking like the remnant of glue or something on it. I just don't know how much more content you could make out of that. Like I feel like this ad read's gonna have more content than the actual topic, but let's see.
Ritualistically bound together with synthetic fibers by the necromancers at Ridge Wallets. Pack up to 12 cards in a variety of styles and colors, like the sinister burnt titanium. It's to die for. Just ask these other 30,000 lost souls. It even has a lifetime warranty and a 45-day test drive. There are a few money clip options you can attach too, so you'll look pretty flush at the Monster Mash. Crawl on over to ridge.com/Cinemassacre and use code Cinemassacre for 10% off your order. You know what's BS? Stickers on fruit. Do you like to eat stickers? No? Well, then why put them on fruit? They're on all produce. Try cutting an apple or something, then you take a bite.
Sorry.
Oh, shit. There's a sticker in my...
So I actually almost for 5 minutes or so, nobody was in. And then for the first 10 minutes, it was one or two would trickle in. And so I was like, should I do this? And I just figured, all right, well, even if I'm just talking to my imaginary friends. But, I just kept going with it and some people showed up. So, we're, I didn't want to start too late today because it's still long. But let me go back to the beginning here. No, nothing to be sorry about. You guys do, I don't own your time. You guys do what you do.
What's BS?
But I was oh man, this is gonna be weird if either I cancel this or I just run with it, talking to myself, and just go with it. But it's good to see that if I do go with it, people will join. So I'll just keep, if you build it, they will come. So, I I just didn't want to do something every week that, no one would show up for. That would be weird. But again, I'm not complaining or anything. You guys do what you do on your time, for sure.
Stickers on fruit. Do you like to eat stickers? No? Well, then why put them on fruit? They're
No? Then why put them on fruit? Oh, you're not supposed to eat it, you jackass.
on all produce. Try cutting an apple or something, then you take a bite. Oh, there's a sticker in my mouth. Oh,
No, nobody has that experience because every apple has one, so we all know. So unless you're at age 5, you're not gonna eat a sticker.
you can just take them off? Bullshit. Oops, I fucked up my tomato trying to peel
that is a pain in the ass on the tomato, but I just sliced that off. All right, just slice it off.
sticker off. If you try using a knife, you'll end up losing a big chunk of the fruit or veggie and hopefully not a big chunk out of your finger. Watch out.
Well, you're doing it. Okay, well, nobody puts it on strawberries, so
This is extra work. Why does there always have to be stickers on it? Now, of course, I know what the stickers are for. They are PLU, price lookup codes, and they apparently come from the International Federation for Produce Standards. Bananas are code 4011, broccoli are 4060, eggplants are 4081, and so on. It tells the register which fruit or veggie it is.
God, this has everything that sucks. It has the ad read. It has a complaint that's super minor and that's like not even all that real. And then that shit stock music. The only thing that it doesn't have is that bullshit man mask, so I'll give it that.
Makes more sense than barcoding everything, I guess. Speaking of barcodes, a lot of stores have scales in the produce department that let you weigh and ring up your own produce before you get to the register. But it prints out an even bigger sticker. Sure, it skips a few steps at checkout, like the employee punching in the item and weighing it, but that's their job, not mine.
Yeah,
I actually did a test.
It might have outlived
I removed all the stickers from my produce, and the cashier was able to ring them up just fine. No extra weight. But then again, everything I bought was pretty normal. I think the issue is there exists too much produce. Look at this. There's like 20 different apples, all this tropical shit.
Well, now the complaint is, what is the complaint here? I forget if the mask comes back or not. It probably makes another appearance.
Horned melons? Wow, that's frightening. There's 1,500 PLU codes currently. That's a lot of produce. Couldn't we pare it down to like...
You know what's bullshit? PLU codes. Like, who cares? Who cares? And like, obviously it's observational humor. You don't really have to care that much. But like, of the things, of the
50,
complaints.
you know? Keep it simple. Also, what's the deal with advertising on produce? I get that cereal boxes and snacks do it because those boxes stick around.
What's the deal with advertisement? Buy rich wallets.
For weeks, maybe months, but most produce wrappers are immediately thrown away. How is that effective advertising? I'm not going to buy lettuce just because there's a Jedi on it. That's why I think pineapples are the perfect fruit, because they can't be defaced with a sticker. They have a naturally spiky defense system. They had to tie some stupid rope to the stalk to avoid the death spikes. Yeah, pineapples are metal as fuck, and that ain't bullshit.
You know, I feel like it's funny because he films a bunch of them, it seems, and whatever is the idiosyncratic quirk seems to exist in that same group of filming, right? So there was a bunch of really raw early episodes that I really liked. There was some episodes that I thought was really thrown off by the BS man, and like that chunk, it persisted. And then there's like this chunk, which is like there's this chunk of where like, okay, they're kind of real complaints, but they're not really done in a way that's all that inspiring or all that interesting. And then so it's like the problems, like what's good and bad about these episodes seem to be the same within these like buckets. If that makes any sense. Stickers on fruit. Honestly, I thought that was really bad. Because there's really, it's like you know what it is? It's like It's like a 5-second complaint that he turned into an episode. It's it's like a I remember the Spikes ones being just bizarre. You know what? I could say this with certainty. I rather watch um, that weird Blu-ray one, which he just seemed like he just filmed right there, than the stickers. I didn't like that. It was dull. There was nothing to say. It's like it's like something that deserves like half a second. It, yeah, I'm pretty down on that one. Sometimes these start to meld together too much, but that what's the complaint? Done. I mean, I get it, but I also think there isn't that much content for it. Okay, inflatable decorations. I vaguely remember this one. Yeah, like I'm wondering if I'm hard on that Blu-ray one, but that one was just awkward too. Like it just wasn't well done for what it was, and he had already done that content a bunch of times. Like, but I think I would rather go back and well, let me relitigate this for a moment. I think I'd rather go back and I remember at the time thinking it was bad last week. I was like, that was off. But would I rather watch that over the Penguins? I think so. I think so. Would I rather watch that over yeah. Whatever. It's a D tier. I'm not gonna fuss too much over it.
You know what's BS? Inflatable decorations. These lawn parasites have taken over suburbia the last 20 years. You can't go 40 feet down a sidewalk without bumping into one of these baffling blow-up dolls.
The energy here is a lot better. There's no ad. And the music isn't that strange, like happy-go-lucky stock music.
A lot of people refer to autumn as the fall. Yeah, the fall of decorating decency. Great job, society. Our neighborhoods went from a spine-tingly, spooky sideshow of vintage Halloween classics to an air-filled obstacle course of licensed characters and cliché family-friendly frights. Which really sucks because we are truly living in the renaissance of Halloween decorating. There's even entire stores nowadays dedicated to Halloween that pop up each year. They usually take residence in an abandoned strip mall.
So I like that quote. Terrible or boring, which is worse? And I go back and forth on that. Especially as I do the nerd rankings. Like, I think this year really sucked for the nerd. And that my next video is a lot on that. I thought this year was some of the bottom of the barrel. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's kind of always like back to himself. I just thought it was so dull and uninspired and the dull ones are not technically bad. Like Jurassic Park Trespasser is just so bad on so many levels, but it's like so much more memorable. Pepsi Man is so much more memorable as off as it is. So they're just both bad in their own ways. Uh, it's, and it, yeah, I know a lot. Like, so I go off on like why a bunch of people who kind of like this year, and I just point out why I think it's terrible. I thought this year was the worst of the worst in a lot of ways. I hate the good games conceit. Like it's one thing if he does it every now and then, but he just keeps going back to that well, and it's like, well, the intro is he's gonna take you back to the past to play these shitty games that suck ass. So he does like Final Fantasy and he does Sim City and Deja Vu. I think is unwatchable. Like the okay, there's cool like visual effects and that's okay, and then you get to the content and it's just like it just drones on and on and on. My next video, and it's been taking a while, is going to cover my issues with this season, in particular. So I just thought they were kind of just like rinse and repeat, paint by the numbers. Okay, We did it. We got it done. It was almost like, in my mind, it was almost his reaction to Horse Prince, which was like, okay, you guys want safe? I'll give you safe. Here it is. Okay, Mike Matei just did a stream of SimCity. I'll do my next video on that. I mean, like, Glover was just so like, eh. I just really just thought it was like, eh. And again, it's fine if you're going for like, I didn't mean to go on this rant, and I have a bigger actual rant, but I think it's fine if you're just going and you want to see retro gaming content. But I just don't think the point of AVGN is to just go back and watch retro gaming content. Like, if I want to watch a SimCity episode, then watch LGR. You know, if I want to watch like a legit SNES review, watch SNES Drunk. You know, it just doesn't really, like, I think if the whole, from my vantage point, I compared the nerd to something more like Mystery Science Theater. We're gonna watch this terrible thing together, and we're gonna poke fun at it. And if you're not really doing that, you're not really, yes, part of it is there's other stuff. It's always added some other stuff. His personal history, um, the retro gaming knowledge, like all of those things were there, but still the main conceit was like point out these things flaws in a humorous way. The Castlevania one, that's the one I really can't stand. That really pissed me off, that one. That's a 20-year anniversary one, and he does an episode that he's done before multiple times. Like, he did like 13, 14 years ago, where he covered every one of those games. And then the whole conceit of that is, well, which one do I like? It's like, you already told us that. And then it ends up still being the same thing. And then this thank you. No, I'm holding off on this. I've been working on this last episode for a while, and it's all about this stuff. But yeah, it's like that, to the point of what's worse, dull or just a train wreck, I guess. The train wrecks are more memorable, for sure. And they'll always have their place in a way. I should check that video out. That'd be interesting. The Fort Snake. I'll check that out. But yeah, let's continue.
Or former retail store during the season. It's almost like the original store died and now it's a ghost. Anyway, one stroll through and you'll realize how many awesome decorations there are available. Here's the inflatable costumes, rightfully next to the poop costumes. But where are all the inflatable decorations?
Wait, so far I haven't heard a real complaint. Was there a complaint so far in this episode?
Why aren't they on display next to the cool mechanical monsters? Because the inflatable crap isn't cool, that's why. They hide them in the back. The employees must be ashamed of them. And there's only like 6 different models to choose from in this lawn scares section. Then where is everyone buying all these lousy lawn ornaments? At your local home improvement store, that's where. Yep, the same place that sells bubble wrap and toilets also carries these giant monstrosities. Home improvement my ass! Actually, wow, there's a lot of really cool classic decorations here too. Look at this giant skeleton, these animatronics, and all this other spooky shit. All the good stuff is here, but it's looked down upon by the inflatable stuff, literally. They loom above like spirits in a bog. Except for this minion. I guess it died up there. I don't think the minions are 6 feet tall. People find them cute because they're short, not tall as a grown-ass person, and this one's a pirate with a sword. Good riddance. Ha, yeah, outdoor pest is right. Man, I don't mean to change my mind mid-episode, but the giant Oogie Boogie, Beetlejuice Sandworm, and Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors are kinda cool. That's my main problem. I hate that I actually like a lot of these. They just don't match any of my older decorations.
Problem is, actually like a lot of these. What? So you just felt like, now you're just talking just to talk. There wasn't a real complaint.
They glow like a beacon and look too cartoony. The only thing they match is each other. They are the Funko Pops of decorating. And it's not just Halloween. These things are really out of...
And this keeps going on. I'm going to run to I have to use the restroom, but I'm going to just let this play out for while I'm in earshot.
full force during Christmas. You may have seen my You Know It's Bullshit on the Christmas Aftermath, where I talk about people leaving their decorations out past their season. Well, coupled with Halloween, every other house looks like a tacky closing mattress store from late August until fucking February. I've even seen some lawns that had a mix of Halloween and Christmas balloons at the same time. It's like some Jekyll and Hyde transfiguration that got stuck midway through. Actually, these displays might be the scariest I've ever seen. Toss Thanksgiving into the mix too, and imagine the nativity scene, but the three wise men are Jack Skeleton, a turkey pilgrim, and a Dallas fucking cowboy. Okay, I'm not just talking shit. I speak from experience. I've gotten a few of these things before, and it always ends in disaster. Their usual position is face down on your lawn, making Santa look like a damn drunk. They can't handle the seasonal rain or the wind too well, and you always have to constantly restake them down because they shift every day, not because they're balloons or whatever, as they're not filled with helium. They inflate with an air pump that provides a constant supply of regular air. You cut power to the pump, and they die quickly. People usually set them on a timer, so they only run at night. With the regular string lights, but then they look all deflated in the daytime, like piles of balloon baloney. So if these things aren't blown up 24 hours,
I had myself muted. Yeah. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, yeah. So what I was saying is like this feels like the problem with like modern AVGN, like where it's just like where he just starts talking, and he just like Wikipedia like walkthrough or whatever, like, and then you prop down residential zones, and then you wait for your population to grow, and then you lower your taxes, and you write blah 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 blah. And it's like there's a couple of directions I think you could have gone with this, which is like you could talk about how tacky they are, and how you think they're stupid and ugly, and decorations used to be better, and look how cool these are, and look how tacky these are, or how annoying they are to put up or inflate or tear down. And it's just like he's just like explaining the concept. He's just explaining them. A couple of it's just kind of. I don't want to dislike these. I I want to like all of them. I'm sitting here, I want to like all of these.
hours a day,
And maybe the problem is like trying to watch all of these in a row. But then there are ones that clearly stand out as better or worse, and this just seems like we're just like dragging on.
your lawn looks like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit massacre took place. Or, I guess the villain in Frosty the Snowman.
No, see, again, like, yeah, so the complaint in the it's bullshit should be something that's frustrating or irritating and inconvenient. That's not what this is. This is just like, where's the part where it's like, this gets on my nerves?
One, and Frosty melted to the ground. I always wanted to know what Frosty looked like flaccid. Save money by just scattering rainbow-colored garbage bags all over your lawn if you want the same shitty effect. Alright, so the overriding issue is that these things are supposed to make decorating easier. In theory, you stake it down, plug the shit in, and it blows
Alright, this feels like what the start of the episode should be, is happening right here.
up. Done. Great. Finished. But what do we gain for this convenience? It's kind of like in Christmas Vacation. The struggles of dealing with the decorations made them all the more impressive when they finally worked. Sure, no one wants to deal with the Clark Griswold headache of tangled cables and broken bulbs, but the inflatables still have problems. They get holes, they fall over easy, the pump breaks, the stakes get lost, and they're also noisy as hell because of the constant airflow. I think the entire situation can be summed up by looking at no-mess carvable pumpkins. While at the store, I noticed these things, and in fact, I've used them in many of my videos. They're made of a soft vinyl or some shitty space-age material that lets you carve a pumpkin without carving an actual pumpkin. Gone are the days of pumpkin picking, gutting, and carving. Now, you carve once, and it lasts for 1,000 years, or until the plastic degrades. I guess it's cool you can keep the same design from year to year.
How did we get on this topic for this long? I thought we were talking about inflatables.
But where's the fun in that? What happened to the Halloween experience? I wish we could turn back to when Halloween actually meant something. Now, it's bullshit. I mean, boo-shit. It's boo-shit. Anyway, happy Halloween and Merry fucking Christmas.
That felt disjointed. It felt like too many... It didn't feel cohesive, that episode. Like, I still... It was fine. It just felt off. I think it definitely crosses the I like it... I don't even know if I like it better than Funeral Processions, to be honest, but... I'm ready to drop it here. Right in here. It's fine by me. Don't have much more to say about it. It just kind of came at once. Group text. I don't know. I don't know the last time I was even in one of these. The group text thing, I think people know. They just don't even bother with that anymore. There's a lot of ways we could communicate as groups. So this feels like an old problem. But let's see.
This ever happened to you? Then you need Ridge.
Oh. Not only are we gonna get an ad, we're gonna get an ad from the great Kieran. So
Wallets. Finally, there's a wallet made of sleek slabs of alloy and bound by synthetic fibers that's built to last. Pack up to 12 cards into a variety of wallet styles and colors, like this burnt titanium. They have other products too. Do you hate having to open doors with your bare hands? Then you'll love the Hook Multi-Tool. Head on over to ridge.com
I'm assuming everyone can hear my mic just fine now.
/Cinemassacre and use code Cinemassacre for 10% off your order.
You know what's BS? Group texts. It all starts with what should probably be some important or exciting news. Someone got engaged or has an awesome vacation photo or some other happy horse. Now, I am sympathetic to the ease of group texting everyone in one fell swoop, but the barrage of responses and the ding, ding, ding all day from people I don't even know quickly soils this joyful announcement and leaves me wanting to throw my phone out the window. It could happen to anybody. That random friend texts you they just had a baby, and next thing you realize you're on a group text with like 20 other people you don't even know. Next thing, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. The maddening ding, ding, dings begin, and you're stuck getting everybody's texts all fucking day, and then you're Googling frantically to find what's the easiest way to opt out of it. They're like the Hunger Games. Your number is thrown in there against your will, and you have no choice but to fight your way out. Brother against brother, mother against child, young against old. May the odds be in your favor. This shit happens on the socials all the time too, but at least there you can say bye and leave the conversation before your family starts talking about their hemorrhoids or whatever. Also, if you don't have an iPhone and you're in a group text with iPhone users, you don't stand a chance. You have no allies because you don't know who any of the new phone numbers are from, and if you ask everyone, you get a flood of names. Each is another blow to your sanity and will to live. There is no use fighting it. Just bury your phone in the mud and live off the grid for a few days until it blows over. It's the only way to survive. Group texts are bullshit.
As this
Besides the ad at the beginning, I like that one. It, like, obviously it's not really that bad, but again, that's the point. They're over exaggerations, but it wasn't too hammed up. He didn't go on any longer than he needed to. He kept with it. He cut out all the fat in this one. I think that's good. I think that's B. I think that one's a B. It's way better than inflatables for me. I thought it was better than snow. I thought it was better than wobbly table. I thought it was better than this tag one. I thought it was better than this. I thought it was better than sleep. I thought that was legit. And again, it wasn't too much going on. Well, and it's funny because the music actually fit this one a little bit better. Even though it was that same stock music. But I just think it fit the tone of this particular episode. Yeah, it's somewhere in like packing peanuts, tape, microwave territory for me. That's fine. Yeah, I like this one. An A. You know, if Kieran wasn't involved at the beginning, I could have put it in A. But the ad wasn't too bad. But yeah, if someone gave it an A, I wouldn't kill him for that. I just think the whole group text thing is a very particular period of time in time. Like I don't think anybody does that anymore because they all experienced it. But yeah, I could see relating to it. I could see someone giving it an A. I feel comfortable with B right now. I feel comfortable just because I think the content of some of the other ones were just better. But that was solid. Here we go. Here comes Kieran again. Loud startup sounds. I'm already a little worried about that one. Oh, and this one is wrong. I put this bed thing here for sleep. It must be... Let me fix some icons here, because I was fixing one before. This is sleep, obviously. I don't know what this one is. What is this? What is this thumbnail? I can't even see it from here. It looks like a messed up bed, like it's going to be like bed sheets or something. Alright.
Ever happened to you? Then you need Ridge wallets. Finally, there's a wallet made of sleek slabs of alloy and bound by synthetic fibers that's built to last. Pack up to 12 cards into a...
Or is this Kieran? Because I think I saw Kieran visibly in one of these Ridge wallet ones. I don't know if it's like Tony or Kieran. I haven't listened to the slobs enough to know.
Variety of
What they
wallet
sound
styles and colors, like this burnt titanium. They have other products too. Do you hate having to open doors with your bare hands? Then you'll love the Hook Multi-Tool. Head on over to ridge.com/Cinemassacre and use code Cinemassacre for 10% off your order.
Okay, it is Tony. Yeah.
You know what's BS? Startup sounds. You know what I mean. You turn on your computer, your PlayStation.
Hold on, hold on, back up for a moment. I really like those startup sounds. Like a good startup sound is actually quite nostalgic for those. The Windows 95 one that's classic. The GameCube one, that's really good. The PS1, that's fucking awesome. Every time I hear that, that's like, oh my god, I remember that. These are good sounds. Where's the bullshit part? Because so far, all these sounds have just immediately given me joy.
Launch Netflix or whatever, and you always get this loud welcome chime that ain't too welcome.
That's fucking awesome. Is this a joke?
I don't need some noise to let me know I just turned my system on. Gee, I would have never guessed. I had no idea that 2 seconds ago I pushed a button. What's the point?
First of all, if these sounds didn't happen, you'd be complaining you got no
To
feedback.
let me know it's working? I'll find that out soon enough. Super Mario Galaxy!
That's fucking awesome. That's a great way to get it started.
Whenever you start up a device, you better hope the volume isn't turned up too loud. Maybe last time you were watching a quiet movie or playing a quiet game.
You know what's bullshit? Things everybody likes.
So you had to turn the volume up loud to hear it, and next time you start it up, blam! Jet engine decibels shattering your eardrums. If it's late at night...
You know what this... Yeah, you know what this confirms for me? This confirms for me that this series for a moment in time, like the Pogs, was just something I feel like talking about and trying to retroactively fit it into a series that fans already know about and like. That's what happened here. That's what all these. All right, that's what Pogs is. That's what this Inflatables is. I'd say that's what this startup sound is. This isn't a complaint. This is things that I could talk about, but in order to like, because you can't put it in Monster Madness and you can't put it in Angry Video Game Nerd. So let's just fit it in a series that we could fit it in and call it bullshit when it's not. It's just a thing to talk about. But that should have been its own separate series. Like, remember what come on, I don't buy for a second that this is a complaint. Like, not for a second. What happened to my UI here? Whatever. I don't buy it.
Congratulations, you just woke up the whole house.
Yeah,
now
right.
everybody has to know I just turned my computer on. Thanks. It's also real nice when you're in a classroom or a library. Thanks for directing the attention of the
I'm
entire
sure
room on
sometime-
me.
Get
Real
outta here.
appreciated. I'm not saying it's impossible to avoid. There's many options. I could leave my computer on at all times, which I try to
exactly.
do. At least on Mac, I know you can mute the volume before you shut it off, but I'm not going to remember that every single time.
Maybe this does. I'm not.
You can also download software that automatically mutes it whenever you shut down, or go into the terminal and enter a specific command. But these are all workaround solutions. Why couldn't Apple have a simple option in the preferences to disable the startup sound? That would have been too easy.
Like, how did somebody who was there when they said, this particular stock music, yes, this is the it's bullshit song now. Who made that decision? When did like when did someone say, yes, that's the theme? Yeah, exactly.
If you like startup sounds, there's nothing to complain about. But if you don't like them, can't there be a simple, user-friendly way to turn them off? In general, many different types of devices and appliances, no matter what they are, make way too many noises. Ever had a dryer with a buzzer? When it finishes drying your clothes, you hear or a microwave, when the timer's up, it goes beep, beep.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
I already made a whole episode about that. It makes me nervous. It puts me on edge. At any second, something in the house could beep. Something has a battery dying. Beep, beep, all night, everywhere. Beep, beep. Enough of the beeping. Enough of the noise. I'd rather hear the sloppy sounds of turds dumping out a bull's ass, because that's bullshit.
You know what? You know what? This is unlike me, I think. I don't know. I disagree with the premise completely. I disagree with the premise. But I was more entertained by it than all of these. I don't know how I jumped this from like low C to B, but I still was more entertained by it. F. I just liked hearing the sounds. I don't know. I would rather watch that than his non-complaints about snow, than his non-complaints about inflatables, then I just was, I disagree with the premise, but I enjoyed the nostalgia trip. And this is a weird one. This could go anywhere from D to B for me. But that one's a weird one for me. I don't know. I might bring it down. It's not going any higher than this. I might bring it down. Who knows? You know what? Yeah, I don't know. You could convince me to bring it down. A little story. Bed sheets are bullshit. Alright, at least as a teenager, I used to try to convince my mom of that. I refused to use sheets. I'd get into fights with her. about how sheets are unnecessary. They're a conspiracy. Why do you keep trying to make me put sheets on my bed? So that was a thing for like 3 years maybe of my life, around 15 or so.
You know what's BS? Mattress sheets. They never stay on the corners of the mattress. They pop out, and next thing, in the middle of the night, you're sleeping half on the sheets and half on the...
Yes, exactly. This feels like... Yes.
Bare mattress. What causes this? All I did was sleep. There's not much else I'm able to do while sleeping except somehow pull the sheet from underneath the edge of a mattress. How does that happen? How much do I move in my sleep in order to pull out a mattress sheet? And how come there's no better way to fasten them on? Couldn't there be a button? Some kind of latch? Tie them? No, just push them under the mattress.
I hate
Gee, great.
I really fucking hate this music. I can't. This thing is fucking driving me nuts. This is like things he complained about, and it's in angry video game nerd episodes, like the repeating theme. I think in like Dark Castle or something, like do 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 do. It never stops.
I've tried tucking them under really far, duct taping them, stapling them. I've even watched all the Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg tutorials.
Yeah, I never know which like angle I'm supposed to put them on, like which is like lengthwise or widthwise.
But they're always going to come off. I really hate it when the sheet barely creeps on the corner and you know it's about to come off. It taunts you. You're laying there, sleepy as hell. The last thing you want to do is get up off the bed and adjust the sheet. You try to fix it while you're laying there, but the weight of your body is keeping it from moving in any direction except for off the mattress. So you try to get back to sleep and stay absolutely still, but that sheet just keeps inching higher up on the corner. Closer, closer, and blam, there goes the fucking sheet. And anyway, why does a mattress sheet matter so much? I don't know. I guess it's just because it's a barrier between you and the uncleanable surface. It's the only thing that shields you. It's the very cocoon of protection while you're at your most exposed state of unconsciousness. I mean, you gotta have a mattress sheet, and yet it's a losing battle. Mattress sheets have been engineered to fail us in our time of sleepy
I feel like we're dragging this one out. We could get out, end it, end the episode. We could end this. We're good. End on a high note. Get out. Get in, get out.
vulnerability.
Let's go.
I'm pretty sure it's a conspiracy orchestrated by aliens.
No, it's not.
As we turn off our brains and go into dreamland, we become
James.
prey to extraterrestrial predators. They plant alien spider eggs into our mattresses, only to be contained by mattress sheets. When the sheets come off, the spiders are released. They crawl into our ears to mute our eardrums so we can't hear the space drones entering our bedrooms to steal bits of our DNA and clone our identities. And maybe that's why everyone shows you all the wrong ways to put a sheet on a mattress. They're aliens, and it's all in a lab.
No, wait, this was good. It was good. What are you doing?
Elaborate ruse to frustrate us so immensely that we eventually cast off the sheets entirely, and thus we are wide open to nightly alien experiments. Now, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, but the point is,
whatever that type of joke is, he loves to do that. That whole, like, I'm going to go off rails into this random conspiracy stuff, and it's like, it's not his best stuff. Yeah, yes, the music sucks. That's another thing that is ruining this whole sequence of videos. That just sucks.
Sheets are bullshit.
This was a good episode, and then it goes off rails. But that's okay. I don't think it went off rails too much that it hurts the ranking. I'm like right here with it. I could go anywhere. It's alright. I like the tape better. It's in this group text packing peanuts thing for me. You know, I didn't love the Mario 3 episode. I don't really like, I mean, he does do the wizard, so I have to kind of go back. I don't really like a lot of the, quote, good games ones. And especially that one, because Mario 3 is a game that deserves more review on the game. Oh, that's a good question. I think the length of the video helps with YouTube monetization probably more than sponsorship, but it also helps increase viewers, which sponsors probably also like. So if you get the longer your video, the more minutes your video gets, the more YouTube's going to promote that video, and it just makes sense because they want you watching being on their website more. So definitely with AVGN, you could see that. You could see their episodes just getting longer and longer and longer and longer and longer, and that's how the platform affected them. So you'll get a higher view count because of it. You'll get more ads in, but I could see that a sponsor would want you to do whatever it takes to increase your view count, which would be in some cases a longer video. So I'm sure a bunch of that is at play. Yeah, unfortunately, the platform affected the quality of his art, if you will. But
You know what's BS? Micro SD cards.
yeah,
Let me tell you,
yeah, it's like I don't need anger, and the same thing with the nerd. I need like a little frustration, a little prick, a little something.
they aren't kidding. They're really micro. They're way too small, smaller than a dime, dangerously small. I bet a ton of these have been swallowed by infants or pets. It's almost like they made them this small on purpose, so you'll lose them and have to buy more. These minuscule memory motherfucks were originally made for cell phone storage because I guess regular SD cards were too big. And speaking of phones, you seen Zoolander? Ben Stiller's character has this really tiny cell phone, which of course is a parody on how technology keeps making things smaller and smaller. Well, there's a real-world tactile limit to how small a phone can get because a human still has to interact with it. Well, whoever came up with micro SD cards said, who cares, and created the most losable piece of technology.
All right, this is getting weird. So we got like first a weird premise, then now the cartoon bullshit man, and we see James's face, then we get a reference to Zoolander. We're a little all over the place.
Technology possible. Sure, they usually come bundled with these plastic converter shells, but then you end up with 10 of these things laying around because they're useless after you lose all your micro SD cards.
Look, it's the rest of them!
But they're supposed to just hang out in your phone as storage, right? No biggie. They won't be handled that often, right? Nope. We have a bunch of devices that only use micro SDs for storage. Game capture devices,
maybe, probably.
VR cameras, GoPros, etc. And guess what? If you need to buy a large capacity SD card, a lot of stores only carry them in the micro variety. And let's say you do buy one and don't lose it, the card has awful heat displacement, which means overheating is a huge problem, which gives you recording errors or forces your camera to turn off. And if that doesn't piss you off, try reading the tiny text on the card without a magnifying glass. You need to know this information, and it's written on this scrap of itsy-bitsy razor-thin plastic like it's Cold War spy versus spy, microscopic microfiche bullshit.
Bullshit.
Here's a solution. Let's go back to analog. I've just created the macro SD card. Just jam an old VHS tape into your phone. Yeah, good luck losing that shit. And that's bullshit.
So you might have saw me typing in a browser because I think I might have missed one in my edit. So I'm gonna go back. So micro SD cards. I thought that was stupid. That was my initial instinct is I just thought it was stupid. It didn't do much for me. It was a non-complaint again. It was a non-complaint in the way I think Pogs was a non-complaint. So I think I'm gonna put it there. But I'm also going to show one that I think I skipped, which is this GPS one. So let's mute let me make sure that that works. I gotta mute this guy here, and I gotta get my desktop audio on. Yeah. Let me know that you guys can hear me.
You know what's bullshit? Security stickers on DVDs. What's the point? You know what's bullshit? The GPS in my car. But the thing is, I need it. I'm not good at navigating. Back in the day when you'd have to print out directions on the internet, it was a pain in the ass. So then the GPS comes along and makes life easier. Well, almost. Sometimes it takes too long to get a signal. If the GPS doesn't know where I am, how the hell do I? Come on, are there space gremlins hanging on the satellites? So
There's something funny I know I hate that mask, but there's something funny about the bullshit man just driving in this car.
then I'm driving around and it sends me on the most back-ass roads possible.
And this really, really terribly done, photoshopped, whatever you want to call that.
How did I get here? I didn't set it to avoid major highways or anything. It'll take you through someone's driveway, wherever it takes to get from point A to point B. If you're on a bridge, it expects you to turn off a road that's underneath the bridge. Really? You want me to crash through the guardrail and kill myself? So I keep going, and it keeps saying recalculating.
Recalculating.
Yeah. Recalculating. Shut up.
Recalculating.
It takes like 9 hours, and when it finally works, it tells me to turn on the road that's like 10 feet in front of me.
Recalculating.
Of course, it's too late. That's like split-second reaction time. So I pass the road, and what does it do?
Recalculating.
Recalculates again to another road without
Yeah.
any advance notice.
Yeah, I mean, the tough thing about it is, like, yes, that's the complaint. I'm pretty sure that's the complaint everybody had ever who used GPS and, you know.
Recalculating.
We could do this all day.
Recalculating.
Fuck you.
Go kill yourself.
And I hate it when it falls off the window. The worst is those wait.
I think there's a certain charm in bad quality, like, but if you're really leaning into that and sticking with it. So, like, I love the original Star Trek. In part, I find the charm of the cheesy sets and the bad actor doubles and that. I like that. I do find that charming. It depends. Some contexts I think it works. Some contexts it doesn't.
Wait things that sit on the dashboard. I just don't like the idea. What if I get into an accident? I don't want this thing flying at me and smashing my fucking skull. Oh well, I can't.
But it's weird with Cinemassacre because it's like sometimes he prides himself in the like very do-it-yourself nature of it, and then sometimes he prides himself in it being like high fidelity, and that's where it's kind of weird with Cinemassacre. Like it's kind of like this car looks awful. Like, and is that the point? Like, I don't know, why does he have a photorealistic car with whatever this weird gradient thing is for the background? Like, it's really weird for him. I don't know.
Go back to not using a GPS. I'm dependent on the damn things. But they're like creepy, artificial life forms that are in control of your destiny and could kill you if you were dumb enough to do exactly what they said. That thing on the windshield is bullshit.
Okay. Let me go back to this guy here. Just doing some housekeeping, making sure my settings are back. Oh, did they have the option for the CGI or not? I would definitely opt to do the not CGI. Yeah, because I was watching on Netflix for a while, and it was always like the very like redone up ones. I want to see the all the cheesiest stuff possible. What I always wanted to make a video game like this, and I was actually starting and never finished. But like, I love like when they go on these planets, and it clearly just looks like a small set, and it's like an alien planet, but it's really just like a background, like a painted background. I love the painted backgrounds in like old sci-fi. I just find that charming. Like Wizard of Oz was like that too, but like better looking. But I love that too. Um, this GPS one, it's really to me, it's a lot like they were generic complaints, and like at best this is a low B. Usually C for me really is like middle of the road, but I'm feeling like my B's are kind of middle of the road for this. Yeah, it didn't feel intentional.
You know what's bullshit? Hotel rooms. Yeah, I've already talked about this.
I realized I was doing a lot of talking, but things were on mute, and I don't know for quite how long, but nobody was complaining too much. But
But it's been what, like 10
okay, so we're now in like the home stretch of like this last like season. Um, I watched this recently, obviously, because it came out recently, and I remember my complaints being like these were not real complaints, and I got into disagreements. 10 seconds, not so bad. I couldn't have said anything that important. Um, I got into minor disagreement with Frankie in the Red Cow Discord, from Red Cow, and he thought these were most, and I think he did a video about this, about like, I could be wrong. I think I remember him doing a video like which complaints were valid and which weren't. Um, and I didn't think that this one was the most. I didn't think this was the most valid. I don't know.
years now.
You guys tell me how legit these complaints are today, like in 2024.
And there's still more to say. I've mentioned the TVs don't let you connect your own devices just so you can rent overpriced movies. I've mentioned the light switches on the outside of the bathroom. And if you happen to be the one weirdo who asks to use the stairs instead of the elevator, they look at you like you just asked, where's the shit path? Stairs are hidden, unheard of, and sometimes
I don't know about these really bad AI photos.
not even accessible whatsoever. But some other things wrong with hotels, specifically the rooms. Let's say it's been a long day of traveling. Your phone is on 10% or less. You need to recharge. So you walk into the room, look around, and hey, where's the outlets? Come on, everyone has a phone. There should be a plug right by the bed or on a desk anywhere. But chances
I thought that one of those images were AI, maybe not. I haven't had this problem with outlets in hotels, and maybe it's the hotels I've been staying at, and I don't stay at a lot. So when I do, I pick something that's I think is gonna be generally pretty nice. I haven't had this outlet problem. You guys tell me.
are it's behind the TV stand or behind the bed, somewhere you can't get to, or you have to unplug a light. Or if there does exist an outlet that's reachable, it might be the only one. What if you have 4 people staying in a room? What, is everybody supposed to take turns plugging in their shit? Oh, and what's the Wi-Fi password? Does anybody have it? Really?
Well, we still have some weird stock music, but it's better than the other weird stock music.
It's not written on anything? Shouldn't it be on a little card on the desk or on the inside of the door?
No, is this a real problem anymore?
No, you gotta call the front desk. What's the Wi-Fi?
No, you don't.
Everybody in the
Does anybody have to do that still?
whole fucking building to have to call about that? Put it in the damn room! And how about the fridge? You were just out buying some bottles of water and some food for later, but shit, what's this? The fridge is already full with overpriced beverages they want you to buy. That's not how it's supposed to work. Can I touch it? Are you gonna
All right, very funny. No, they're not $34 M&Ms. The exaggeration's maybe a bit too
charge me if I
much.
even look at it? Don't you hate it when they strategically place their own purchasable
Yeah, I
beverages
guess.
around the room, like right next to the bed? You wake up with a dry mouth, you reach over and grab a water bottle without thinking. Those fucking sneaky bastards. And I can't stand those anti-theft clothing hangers. How do you work this thing?
I don't remember
Oh,
those.
fuck it. Just
But
throw
maybe.
the jacket on the floor. Why are the trash cans always so small? They really think you're not going to have that much trash?
Yeah, because you're not supposed to throw your filth in their room. So it should be 5 point. They should be. So this was I'm very core. Like you're not supposed to take your filthy pizza box and stuff it in the garbage in your hotel room, because it's not courteous. Because you're just gonna create filth. So it should be a tiny waste paper basket.
Within
my
hours, it
strong-
overflows and becomes a messy pile. But don't worry, housekeeping will clean it up when they wake you at 7 a.m.
I've never had that happen. But again, I'm sure I don't stay in hotels as often as James.
Bathrooms are always a crapshoot, quite literally. The toilet's flush is louder than a jet engine. The showers are designed in a way so that you never know how to get the right water temperature. And most of all, don't you hate it when the glory hole's too high? Look at this. How are you supposed to stick your dick in there? You have to stand on something. Not to mention it's glass.
James Rolfe never misses an opportunity to bring up glory holes for some reason. I guess this is a thing that he's into or is on his mind a lot, but this guy can't see a round shaped hole without it immediately talking about a glory hole.
Doesn't the transparency kind of defeat the purpose? Come to think of it, I don't like the idea of not seeing. You know, I'm just kidding. The hole is for reaching the shower knob without getting wet. You gotta be shitting me. You couldn't just have an ordinary sliding door or a curtain? Somebody came up with this shit, and this shit is bullshit.
Yeah. You know what? When I watched it this year, I kind of didn't like it, but in the context of having seen some of these other ones, which I do think are a lot worse, it's about there for me, I think. Yeah, I like it better than this guy here. I like it better than the tags. I like it better than the wobbly table. I like it better than snow. Like maybe some of these need to start dropping into, yeah, maybe these are actually C tiers for me. Maybe that's what's happening here. I think these are solid C's. Had potential, weren't too great. Average, they're alright. That's what I think is happening. I think I've now got what I think is solid C. Even this, I don't know why the sleep one is as high as it is. Because the whole night. Yeah, I thought that sucked. Why is that even as high as it is? No, no. I'm putting it right in there. Complaining about night owls? Like, no, that wasn't a real complaint. I wasn't entertained. Yeah, this was fine. This was fine. I was a little hard on it, but seeing this in its totality, I think it's fine. No. All right, so the hole, I've never seen anything like that hole in the United States either. So he found one hotel with a hole in it, I think, and he decided to make a video. I don't ever remember seeing that. What's going on? We're down the home stretch here. We're down the stretch. We got 4 more episodes. Here we go. I'm not gonna. This one grosses me out but that's a me thing.
You know what's bullshit? Restaurant takeout boxes. You know the situation. Either you're picking up food, having it delivered, or you're eating out somewhere. You don't finish all your food, you obviously don't want it to go to waste, so what do? You ask for a box to take it home in. But you'll never know what type of contraption you'll be tasked to use in this delicate transport. But you do know it always sucks. And in a post-COVID world, takeout boxes have become much more common and have gotten even worse. The main perpetrator that I'm talking about here is the clamshell container. Sometimes they're made of plastic and sometimes styrofoam.
Yeah, these
but
are
either way,
these
they're
are that
ass.
minor
They never
irritation
stay
stuff.
closed. That little
Yeah, this is for me is when I really like this show. It's like there's a little minor irritation. You hit at it, and you stick with it, and you.
tab that holds it shut
And there was more here than say like stickers on fruit in terms of
always
minor
comes
irritation.
out somehow, spilling your food all over the car. That's some shit right there. How does that damn thing open? How does it happen all the time? The styrofoam ones, it's no wonder why. No mystery at all, because it's fucking styrofoam. The tab always breaks off, and once it does, you know you're done for. What are you gonna do? Drive back to the restaurant and get another one? While that lid flaps open and shut like a Muppet's mouth, barfing your food all over the place. You just gotta push that container under your seat and drive carefully, hoping it doesn't make too much of a mess. Of course, some restaurants have better options than others. The classic Chinese food takeout boxes never did much wrong. Also, there's the foil swan. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Even pizza boxes suck, and those things are here for eternity. Nobody really likes them, but nobody really
All right, thanks for
complains
joining
about them
later.
either. We're used to getting pizza in a big square box that doesn't fit anywhere. How do you put that in your fridge? You ever have just 2 slices left and the only thing you have handy is that stupid box that came in? You gotta move stuff around to make room. Out of the way, ketchup. Out of the way, whipped cream.
Yeah, when I don't eat pizza much anymore, but when I did, and I did quite a lot, I used to do this shit all the time. I didn't want to start like wrapping shit in foil or whatever. This was like 80% of my life.
And when it's time to throw the pizza box away, it can't even fit in a trash can or a recycling bin. Does
Well,
it even recycle? It's cardboard, but it's all stained with sauce and pizza grease. But really, anything's better than the dreaded styrofoam clamshell. It'll survive the apocalypse in a landfill, but not the 4-minute drive home. Aside from being cost-effective to the restaurant owner, those fuckers have 0 redeeming qualities. They're terrible for the environment, they suck, and they're pieces of shit. And the past few years, it's gotten shittier. Now that almost everybody does takeout. Like the way some places tie the plastic bag and then the soup or gravy is spilling all over inside the bag. You gotta keep everything level. And how are you supposed to do that while driving home? Hold the bag between your teeth? What's the solution? Is there a way to transport food in some magic vessel that will keep it fresh, safe, and edible while reducing your carbon footprint? Somebody's gotta figure it out. Invent transporters. No, fuck it. Invent replicators. That would be awesome. Man, if we had replicators and could just instantly manifest food, think about how much humanity would overeat. I'll have some steak, some sushi. Man, we would binge eat everything. No toilet could handle all of it. You better figure out how to make a shit transporter quick. I mean, yes,
What was? Alright, come on. What does it have to do with takeout boxes now? Just stick with the point.
transporter before the replicator. Very important. Anyway, takeout containers are bullshit.
Okay. Alright. Alright. Yeah. I like that one then. I like it now. I'm burning out a little bit, so I'm just gonna get it and I'm gonna get out. I like that more than the hotels one. I liked it more than Startup. I think more than iTunes. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I thought it was good. Tight episode, legit complaint. Didn't do too much with it. I thought the stock music, while a little bit much, was just more fitting. It's like, okay, it's a little more dramatic than it needs to be, but it kind of works. It's kind of funny. So let's go. I got 8 minutes of episode left. I forgot to so I put it we put it up right in here. In B tier. So let's we got 3 more episodes. 3 more. So let's not liking this one. Again, kind of a minor. I don't know what you're complaining about.
You know what?
That's how I remember it.
Bullshit! When you drop your phone between the car seat and the console.
Okay.
A tragedy. You know what I'm talking about. Your whole day is ruined because it's your cell phone. It's that magnificent hand robot that must be accessible at all times. It's not like a French fry or a pen. In that case,
I like the use of
you
Beethoven.
can cut your loss and consider it gone forever. But no, you need to get it back now. Panicked and in a cold sweat, those precious seconds tick by, disconnected and off grid. What if I miss a call, letting me know my student loan debt has been forgiven? Or what if somebody had a baby? Or what if there's an outbreak of venomous giant ticks? Or what if AVGN posted a new video? I need my phone back. I can't suffer this agony any longer. I try the obvious. I reach as far as I can into the abyss.
Wait, so far I think I was way wrong. This is awesome. What was I talking about?
My fingertips just grazing the top of the phone. I can see the shimmering plastic, but it's just beyond reach. So close. Why can't my hands be any thinner? Why the actual fuck does this crack between the car seat and the console even exist? Surely, some automotive engineer has suffered this same torment and would have fixed this by now. The vehicle itself has every bell and whistle imaginable. It can sense if I'm wandering off the road and self-correct. It practically drives itself, but still has this epic design flaw. The cursed cavern where phones and dreams go to die. I've almost got it. Reaching. I feel it, and then fuck! I somehow knock it deeper into the crack. Now my mind has gone to the gutter. How far will I go trying to retrieve my precious? Should I just hit the road and drive? Or will that impair my mind more than if I was actually using my phone while driving? Actually, don't do that. You or somebody will get killed. So I exit the driver's seat, frantically on my hands and knees, peering into the dark underbelly of the car seat, hoping that amongst the lost pennies, lollipop wrappers, and CVS receipts, my phone...
Maybe, again, we're dragging out a little longer than needed, but I get it. Like, I'm not treating it as, like the raw, like, pennies episode. This is intentionally overly dramatic, but entertaining.
Lies waiting for me to save it. Alas, I have failed. It remains perched in car seat purgatory. I move the seat up, down, forward, backward, and through time and space. Finally, I must search the car for some long, thin object to cram into the space and knock it loose. Nothing works. It's gone. So I get in the car, drive to the mall, and get a whole new phone. You know you can actually buy car seat crack fillers from Amazon? How about an ass crack filler? The fact that somebody had to invent that when they could have just designed the car that way is bullshit.
Okay. Oh. I feel like that's the best thing I've seen him do this year. Maybe I remembered wrong. I probably, like, again, the complaint itself seemed kind of silly. Like, okay, yeah, you can make that complaint, but what could you do with that? This is like the opposite of stickers on fruit. Because stickers on fruit is a very, very minor complaint. That he had to make it interesting, but he didn't. This one he did. And the whole, like, oh, I gotta get it. And then the little jokes about, I like the little jokes about the, like getting those messages, those warning messages. And yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I think that might be an A. I think that's a solid A. And is it a high A? Because it was different. It's fresh. It's fresh. I like that. I don't want to discourage that. I don't remember liking any of the restrooms ones that much. I don't know why I have this one as high as those. Right there. Right there. Right? Am I out of my mind? I think that works. I think that was fun. That was energetic. That was something he hasn't given me that kind of energy in a while. I think it was legit. It was a little artsy. Yeah, I thought that was good. Yeah, I thought that was good. I thought that was good. I really like that one. I really like that one. You never know. You try different things, and sometimes you try something that doesn't work. And you know what it is? When James tries something, it's good as long as he keeps it focused. When it gets bad is when it's like he tries something and it's just way too all over the place and way too much going on. Like it's like the movie, like the AVGN movie just had like it's just not really like focused on anything. And this was okay, it was experimental, but it was focused, right? Like Mr. Bucket was experimental for the time, but it was focused. Same thing with Dream Phone, it was clear. And then like Board James even kind of goes off rails when he's like has all like 3,000 plot lines going on. When he tries to get too high concept, it kind of falls apart. James needs limitations. He kept this one tight. He kept it focused. It was fun. Maybe he ran a smidge long, but I'm not gonna complain about that. I like that a lot. That was heartening to see. We got two more. Two. I don't think I saw these last two. I could be wrong. I definitely don't think I saw the last one. And no ads, by the way. That's nice.
You know what?
USB ports has the potential to be really cliche. We'll see.
Bullshit!
USB ports being on the back of everything, especially computers. Why not put them on the front?
He kind of complained about this with the hotel TVs
Oh,
thing.
I know why. Because that would be easier. Yeah, doesn't that make sense? Why do we always have to give our devices a reach around just to get some power?
Yeah.
For example, I actually own a lamp that has the USB port on the fucking bottom. Look at this. Some asshole put the power plug on the very surface that the lamp is meant to sit on. It makes zero sense. So if you want this lamp to actually
Yep.
light up and not be a useless decorative piece
This
of
is
shit,
classic
you have
James.
to plug it in and let it
Yep.
wobble around like one of those
This is like the brick power adapters and the irritation of that.
spinning
Yep.
top toys, spiraling into the depths of this USB port-induced hell I'm living in.
Yeah. So one thing I'm noticing right away, I think choosing good classical music is way better than that shit stock music that he was using. And it actually changes the tone, and I like the tone. Is it the same tone as the early classics ones? No, it's a different tone, but it's more like a very frenetic pace and energy that's different, but I think it works. But that choice of music is way better than the stock music that they were using.
Not to mention, almost every
I mean, in two ways. Like, obviously, it's better music because it's just great classic music. If not a little cliche, but it's great. And then I think it fits the tone of what these episodes can be more. I like this a lot.
everything uses USB.
And again, like when he groups these together, you see like each season, if you will, has a completely different tone in You Know What's BS. But I like this.
Now. You ever get a device that has a USB cable included, but no AC adapter? Most walls I've seen still only have standard outlets, so you better get USB ports installed everywhere, or no, if you do that, guaranteed, they'll make a new type of power plug. Logical engineering has no place in our modern technology. Does having USB ports on the back make it look neater?
No bullshit man mask, except for that animation too, after that final grouping.
But you don't want to see the wires? I'd rather be able to plug something in as needed without having to crawl behind my computer. Fuck that. And all these different types of USB. USB A, B, C, D,
Yep.
E, F you! I don't want to be fumbling through a closet full of wires, cords, and adapters looking for the perfect combination. And don't you hate how USB A never plugs in right the first time? You got to put it in and it doesn't fit, so you turn it upside down and it still doesn't work. So then you turn it back to the way it was and
Yeah, well, because classical music has a kind of tension to it. Like, it usually has a good tension in and of itself. And, yeah, and there's tension in this concept. And so, but what adds a little bit to the humor is that it's a little bit overly dramatic. Whereas, whereas the stock music was the opposite of dramatic. It was like, like it belonged in like a Candyland video game or something. It was
What do you know?
weird.
It fucking works. Not to mention, the length of the wires is never correct. It's always too short or too long and makes a mess. You gotta find that Goldilocks magical unicorn wire. It's either 700 feet too long and coiled up like a pile of technological spaghetti, or it's just centimeters too short and you have to buy yet another new wire or move the furniture so it reaches. But when you move the furniture, it uncovers the cat puke stain you never cleaned up and messes with the whole balance of the room and your life. And that's bullshit.
Yeah, this might be another A-ish, maybe a high B. Yeah. Yeah, that's the essence. That's what I want. That's what I want in one of these. I'll drop it right there. Maybe I'm getting a little lazy with these right there. I think that's, yeah. It's in line with like packaging and water, and that's a good episode. You know, I'm starting to think that this pens doesn't belong this high. Like I might be biased by it being, you know, like super classic, and um that was good. That was good. I like that. I like that a lot. In fact, you know what? Yeah. I think for me, there's really I want to use I want S tier to be sparing. I think wow, man, I do like yeah, I think this pen one doesn't age as well. Maybe I'm being hard on it now. I think these are the three S tiers for me so far, and there's only one more episode left. I feel like it's like these three stand out above the rest for me. Pennies was a classic. I mean, yeah, post. I kind of almost have to go back and watch post office ones, but I feel like these are the three that really stand out. These are the three. I think I just am overly sentimental for the post office pen one. It might not even be that great. The energy in the printers one was fantastic. It was the best energy of any of the episodes by far. The pennies one has that great like sense of like picking on something small and mundane and really dragging it out, and it's a classic. It was the second episode. That's great. The word pronunciation, not the same energy as the printer, but thoughtful and funny, and nice use of making, you know, kind of poking fun of himself a little bit too. Those are the S tiers for me. And you could make a case for a bunch of these here that are in A, including still post office pens. At least for me. Brackets, you're here for the end. I had a couple of really nice. I'm really pleasantly surprised by the last couple of this last season. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And it helped like watching all of these back to back to back. It's the last one, parking lots. Yeah, you could definitely make a case for pronunciations being the best. That case could definitely be made. I really think these two really do stand out. All right, I don't think I watched this episode. I could be wrong. But
What's bullshit? Parking lots. They're designed with no rhyme or reason, like a primate rolling a ping pong ball covered in peanut butter over a map of the flat earth. There's no clear way to navigate.
again, I think the classical music is so much better. Losing your phone is right here in A tier. I really like that, and I really like brackets. You missed one of my main complaints, that there was just a series of episodes with some shit stock music. I think this classical music sets the tone that's so much better for these episodes.
Them.
I hope he keeps that.
You need to be some kind of master maze solver. You may as well drive while seated
I did see this episode.
backwards with a blindfold.
Because I remember that image.
eating a donut because you sure as hell ain't gonna get in and out of there without an epic struggle. It's as if there's an unwritten law that the bigger, more condensed a place is and the higher the ratio of automobiles means the parking lots must be smaller and more maze-like. It's gotta be some type of conspiracy, like we're the test rats and we gotta solve this
It's always some kind of conspiracy.
puzzle. You try to find a parking space, but they're all full, and you end up in a dead end surrounded by other cars, all trying to do the same thing. You're trapped. There's an enter only and an exit only. Pick the wrong one, and oops, what are you gonna do? Turn around and cause a traffic jam? Sometimes if it's a parking garage or a lot where you have to pay, there's always the dilemma of figuring out the payment machines. Do I pay now? Do I pay later? Do I fill out a 10-page rebate survey and wait 28 days for reimbursement? Please, Lord, I'll pay anything. Just let me park. Parking garages are insane. You gotta zigzag up and down several stories to the 10 magical spaces that aren't reserved. Each of those spaces comes with its own arbitrary concrete pillar. Have fun getting around that. So you got to do an 11-point turn to squeeze into that space. But the worst is when two or more businesses that are located right next to one another practically share a parking lot, but it's divided into two parking lots, so you can't drive from one to the next. Why can't the parking lots connect? They can't afford 5 extra feet of pavement? Sometimes there's even a fence, so you can't even walk it. Is it because the two businesses don't like each other or something? Is that my fault? You're going to tell me I can't shop in 2 side-by-side stores without having to get back in my car and drive back out into the main road? Such an unnecessary waste of time, waste of gas, and needless risk of traffic jam or accident. Fuck you. There are many parking lots now where you have to park at an angle. They put arrows on the ground, and if you accidentally...
Yeah, so who would have known that the real conspiracy was that James is the cause of all of the world's problems.
Go the wrong way, now you're head on with another car. They force you to maneuver the parking lot the way they want you to go instead of letting you easily park wherever you want. Now you have to follow the arrows down narrow lanes where only one car can fit. And sometimes you can't see the arrows because the paint has faded. So now, because of this diagonal parking scheme, you're forced to go down narrow rows, following arrows, and hope to God not to turn down the wrong lane. You are screwed, and the two cars are going to be head-on with each other, and now someone's going to have to back up.
That'd be great if he
But you
owned
better
that
hope
as a
there's
you
no
know
one
what's
behind
BS.
you, because now they will also have to back up. Shit's fucked up. Just make normal parking lots where everything is laid out in a grid. Don't do this diagonal shit. And make parking lots connect with each other, because that is bullshit.
Okay. Okay. I don't think that was as good as the phone. I don't think that was, that didn't strike me as A tier. I don't want to get fooled by the music. I like that tone. But I don't think it quite touches like the real mundane frustrations of the USB port. Yeah, I could put it in B. Maybe I don't relate to it as much because I don't drive. But even then, let's see. How much was I entertained? Bed sheets? Takeout? I'm going to put right here where takeout is, I think. I'm feeling it by takeout, and even though it's not technically a high B, I feel like these are all they're all pretty close in their own way. This could get moved around. But yeah. I might, I'm not saying I will. I might go ahead and actually take what I did these last couple of weekends and turn this into a proper video where I do actually officially rank all of these, and that might give me an opportunity to kind of go back and watch these and get better resolution on some of these that were close. Finale? I mean, it's not a finale of Cinemassacre Saturday. As long as people keep showing up, it's cool to hang out. And, for me, I mean, it is one of my won't be so secretive reasons or to do this is as I do the nerd rankings, it'll be a good way for me to watch some episodes with people, get my thoughts down there, and actually, because I rewatch. So the nerd rankings, I'll watch the same episode like 8 times sometimes, or at least there's at least three where I'll do like a first impression pass, then I'll do a deep dive, and then I'll keep looking through it as I edit. Um, so some of these I want to go back and watch, and that'll be a good opportunity for me to like use these weekends as an opportunity to be more efficient about making content while still engaging in some way, and it's a good way to share in something that we're all fans of. Um, um, yeah, and I don't know that there's anything else I could do with this series in terms of streams, but like I said, it's not an impossibility that pardon me. It's not an impossibility that I would take this and then turn it into a proper video where it's one video where I do rank them all from what I guess it would be from 1 to 51. And obviously I'd go back from 51 to 1. Obviously you guys have some hint of what that would look like, but it might be fun to take this and write something and create a proper video out of it. And then have that for all time. Because I don't know I've seen anyone do a proper ranking of this. And yeah, I think it's worthy. Um, Commodore 64, I remember it being kind of okay, but like a lot dragged out long, like a lot of those episodes. Um, yeah, yeah, I think it'll be a worthy video. It's not priority, but I do want to, even though I've been slow with the ranking videos just because I've been doing a lot of foundational stuff. I've changed editors, I've changed processes, I've been, doing a little bit to make my area look better, started a new job. I got rebuilding my apartment to be more efficient, rebuilding changing my processes for the video so I could, towards the end of the year, I plan out like releasing a bunch of reviews at once is my plan and surprising some folks with that. Um and yeah, so but with the Saturdays it'd be an opportunity to like occasionally watch a few nerd episodes, write my thoughts down, get some ideas in real time. But yeah, I think with these streams I'll definitely watch episodes that I haven't watched in a while, and it'll be a good opportunity. Maybe do like one classic, one modern, or just whatever. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. It might even just be what I feel like, or what I feel like I need to watch. Like I don't need to really rewatch TMNT to know where I'm gonna rank that. I know where about that's gonna rank. But I probably need to go back and watch the Mega Man episode to know about where that's gonna rank. Some of the really like Charlie's Angels, and I think was one. I don't remember where. I remember that not being good, but where's that going to be? So I do kind of need to go and rewatch some of the ones where I generally kind of know where they are, but I'm getting close to having to review it. So let me rewatch it to make sure it's kind of where I think it should be. Like Hudson Hawk I ranked that lower than it really should be, even though I'm fine with the review itself and I think it was valid. Uh, is it the third worst episode in the series? Probably not. Um, Probably not. I'm almost certainly not. Um, yeah, I mean, it was fine. The censored error, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff that ended in this low C tier. Um, but yeah, I want to do a video too about like how I came up with this series or like my processes and stuff and why that ended up so low. Because it definitely was low compared to a lot of the boring, like I'm going back to talking about Hudson Hawk now, because Hudson Hawk had a distinction where I felt more than any of the other episodes, him trying to recapture the old magic of the nerd, and in that sense, I do feel like it stood out compared to some of the other ones that I kept watching. I was like, oh, this is boring, this is boring, but like this was uniquely irritating to me because I felt like he was trying to recapture classic nerd in a way that was so painfully obvious. So I'm not too upset with it being there, but so anyways, I'm probably here in the US, Thanksgiving is coming up, so I'm probably not going to be doing this next week, but I think the following week my plan is to do the behind the scenes video and watch that because that's certainly funny and memeable. It's been a while since I watched that beginning to end. Yeah, yeah. Well, so with I didn't know what this was gonna be. I remember I had so I'm sure if you know me, there's a good chance you know Jason Graves because he's bigger and better than me and he's done some nerd content before. But he was asking me if I had been saying to him that I wanted to rank every nerd episode, and he was like, are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it? And he was like, is it okay if I do it? I'm thinking of doing it, but if you're gonna do it, I won't. And I'm like, all right, let me do something. And I was just gonna do a tier ranking like I did with, you know, it's bullshit. But you should. Jason Graves' channel is awesome, and he's been with if you know Red Cow, he's done content with them before on Red Cow Arcade. Um, but he was asking me if I was gonna do the rankings. And if I was like, all right, let me do something. And I had a few things written, and I was like, oh, I kind of like these. And there were three in particular that I liked the writing for enough to make something out of it. And so that's what became the Vegas Stakes one, which for me is far and away my least favorite. It's really not close. It really is the one I just can't sit through. I could see why some people might like it more than some others, but I couldn't sit through it. And then the Kingdom Hearts one is so obvious because it's so fraudulent. Like, it's so fraudulent. And then Hudson Hawk I was watching a bunch of episodes from like the most recent to the late, the earliest. And I was watching a bunch, and it was all like, okay, this is running long, this is boring, this is running long, this is running long, this is boring. Hudson Hawk was the one that I just remember writing more about because, again, it was the one that felt more like you're really trying hard to recapture. But I hadn't remembered some of the other ones. Like, I barely remembered the way Jurassic Park Trespasser was, which I do think is a complete disaster. Yeah, yeah. It's funny. One thing I do want to do for one of these Cinemassacre Saturdays is um go watch all of my old videos, all of the videos together with people and talk about those because like everybody, I go back and watch those. I'm like, oh, I do not like these. I do not like what I did with this. And my style changed a little bit. And like and sometimes different episodes get a different style. But like one of the things I tried doing with these episodes now is I always say that the best nerd episodes are the ones where he lets you go through the experience with them and doesn't talk at you. And my first video, I talk at you a little bit more, especially Vegas Stakes. Well, that's the thing. Like, that's how I felt. That's why I feel like Jurassic Park Trespasser is my favorite one that I've done because it's the one that I watched in doing my research. Whereas, like, I remember all of these separately, but I don't remember this in the same episode. I was just like, this is so bizarre. And it just felt like that was the one that I felt like is the one that I personally like. Like, James has Jekyll and Hyde and LJN, and I feel like I have Jurassic Park Trespasser. Because everyone had talked about like Shrek before, and some of the other ones, like when I first watched Shrek, I watched it and I thought, is this as bad as I think, or do the fans actually like this? And it turns out the fans hated it. Um, but I feel like Jurassic Park Trespasser was like, and I was showing it to people, and they're like, yeah, I don't remember that either. And it was like, it's such a mess. It's such a mess. And I think Dan Olson with Folding Ideas did a video where he talked about what he thought. Hold on, I'll get to that in a moment. Where he talked about which he thought was the worst AVGN. And I think he must have watched my video because he talks about Jurassic Park Trespasser, and he does also mention the thing that I mentioned about Kingdom Hearts, where James, like, where the nerd mentions never watching it, but then he goes on talking about the whole series as if he had. And I skimmed through a video with Dan Olson talking about it a little bit, but I need to find that and watch the whole thing, and I can't find it online, but someone sent it to me. But I want to see if he's actually seen my video, but if I think he did, based on, because my guess is that Dan Olson did a little research and watched what other people thought, and he might have come across my episode. Now we say the 3DO, but we're not talking about the Plumbers Don't Wear Ties episodes, because I think that one's clearly a classic. Yeah, I might. I don't want to Star Wars redo all the ones that I've done before, but I might re-rank at some point. That might be a thing, because now as I watch all of these again and again, it becomes easier to re-rank. Yeah. Yeah, the console is, yeah, a lot of it was kind of meh commentary. But yeah, I went back and watched my first episode. I don't really like my Vegas Stakes video much at all anymore. I mean, I think it was good for like a first video. I think the Kingdom Hearts is fine. And I do think, even though I think I'm hard on Hudson Hawk, I do think that the video it's contained well. And hopefully I'm working on things like audio and stuff like that a little bit better. My editing's better, but stylistically I want to continue to do more show and less tell. I think has been hopefully the style I settle into a bit. And I don't know if this is stuff people even care about at all, but I'm sure most people who are here because of those videos, and so it's, if anyone's curious about the insights and process and what I think about those videos. But yeah, I think that'll be a fun one. Maybe in like a few weekends from now, I'll actually go through, watch those, bring up the moments I think are a little cringy. I'm sure there are things I'm going to look at and go, oh, I wish I had done that different or that better. And then like how I went about it, what the process was, what my thought processes were, whatnot, if that's interesting to people. But yeah, I think, but hey, thanks for, it was funny, like, when I started recording, I was at, like, nobody was here for the most part. I was just like, let me run with it. But there's a solid group of you here, so thanks for hanging out and joining. This has gone on 3 hours, so I'm about to wrap it up. But yeah, for those celebrating, happy Thanksgiving. I won't see you guys next weekend, but the following weekend we'll do this again. It's fun. Oh, so that's fun. Yeah. And I thought that the Tomb Raider one was going to be the one that was next. I really did. And it just hasn't come to fruition yet. Like, there's still stuff in the writing that I want to do and make that tighter. But it's in the I have 6 episodes written, and Tomb Raider is still one of those. And probably more than 6, like, solidly, like, written. And then I have 3 videos, almost, like, 3 reviews almost nearly edited. I should almost talk about that one in a way that's not the way I did the video. I do hint at this in my next video. I just don't think that James is that funny, especially now. And I think that he needs to do games that are funny in and of themselves, and let the game do the talking a little bit more, which is why I think Big Rigs was a classic. Seaman. Or it's not even that he's not that. I don't think he could do AVGN that funny the way he used to. Because it's like, how much can you do that content for? So I thought with Horse Prince, it was like, a lot of people saw that game and they were just turned off, I thought, immediately by that game. And where I was just like, oh, that's funny. Like, that's ridiculous. Let's just laugh at this meme game. So I was on board with that. And I guess what I was, and one of the things that was happening, like, so my context is a little different too, because I had been watching for research, I had been watching all of these modern episodes, like, back to back, and some of them would be like, Garfield was like almost 30 minutes. And it's just long, drawn out, boring, and just like him just talking and droning on and on. Where for me, this was refreshing because it was about a game that I thought was kind of funny in its own way. And he just kind of let it do the talking. And it wasn't too long. And so I thought even if you didn't like it, I did not see it as like, oh my God, this is like the worst thing he's ever done. I think it seemed bad because they thought the content itself was weird. Which is why I think a lot of people don't like the VHS tapes one. Which I don't like it either. But I think like the content is weird. And it throws people off. But like, would I rather watch Horse Prince over like some of the just like boring explainer videos? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would much rather that than like Horse Prince almost has a reason to exist. Like, does SimCity have a reason to exist? Does did that other Castlevania one have a reason to exist when he already done that? Does Contra and why what I remember about it, does that have a reason to exist? They don't seem to have a reason to exist. Yeah, and maybe that was the thing too. Like I'm not like as plugged in into all like the retro gaming community stuff, so maybe other people have like covered it more and I didn't know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And all of a sudden it's about the Twilight Zone. Yeah. Yeah, and SimCity, yeah. You kind of knew it was coming too because Mike had done it before, and I heard Jason Graves incidentally was like, "Oh, he's gonna do SimCity next," because Mike did it, and sure enough, that's what he did. But my voice is getting hoarse. We've done this for over 3 hours. I'm happy to talk about this. I'll talk about this more, and I think I'll talk about it more. Well, expect some slander. Look, I'm not super on board with the whole, hey, here's a game I like. Like, okay, that's a James video. That's not a nerd video to me. The Contra video is a James video to me. Earthbound is like a James video. Like Majora's Mask, Final Fantasy, like those are like separate James things. The Contra one just feels like that should have just been James talking into a camera. I've only watched it like once, so maybe I go back and watch it in a different light, but that's not Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. That's not TMNT. That's not Jekyll and Hyde. It's just a different thing, and I think it just belongs in a different category. And I've gotten frustrated that they've rebranded, if you want. Look, Super Mario 3 is like arguably far and away my favorite game of all time. But I didn't love the AVGN video. In part because He could have talked about the game more, and I don't know that he had anything to say about the game. He actually really didn't have anything insightful to say about the game. But I'm gonna, before I wrap up, one of the things that will delay some of my nerd videos is the video I really, really want to do most is a design analysis on Mario 3 and comparing it to Mario World and why I think 3 is far superior. And I could break that game down in ways I don't think anyone has, as great as it is and as great as I'm sure it's been broken down. So, yeah, look, I think the good games episodes should be done every once in a blue moon. But he shouldn't do them so often now as like a trope, and then he does the whole shtick of like, well, I'm gonna give myself a break now for once. And if you look at the last year, it's been like, I think he's run out of stuff. So he just does, it's like, so he did Final Fantasy VI, good game. He did a bunch of Castlevania games, all good games. He did SimCity, good game. I'd argue that Glover was a good game. What else did he do? That was like clearly firm, like even like Goonies was okay. There was others that were like firmly in the good game territory. And so it's just like, okay. Yeah, well, my plan is to rip Super Mario World to shreds because I think it's a bad design. And I'm going to compare it to Mario 3. And that's like decades long of work and analysis. And I've been teasing that to people for a long time. But I think it's I think that Mario World is a lot of fluff, a lot of great production value, but not amazing design from like a level design perspective compared to like Mario 3 or even Mario 1. And that's my little hot take. And that's at least an hour-long video that I've been working on for a while. Yeah, he's run. Look, that series, like, it's amazing he's done as much with it as he has. Like, let's be real. Like, if I make fun, like, his output has been amazing. Yeah, I think it's style over substance. So recent seasons. But yeah. I'm gonna wrap up. Thank you guys. Hope to see you in a couple of weeks. And enjoy.